Hey guys, Sunstreaker Wozza here. Welcome back to another Thursday live stream where, yes, as always, covering the hot topics in Transformers Earth Wars. So thank you everyone for joining me again, much appreciated. Apologies for last week, I was a bit rushed. But we're back as normal this week without the rushing. So much appreciated and apologies for last week. This week, what we're looking at, we'll take a look at the 5-star batch, looking at the changes, judging if it made it better or not, how much better, is it going to be one of the best batches, is it not, and why not? We're going to be taking a look at Gears as well, the new bot coming in this month's Endurance, taking a look at him and judging whether it's worth going from or not, and what kind of players it'd suit. We're going to be taking a look at Volcanicus. See a lot of people saying they're struggling with Volcanicus, don't know how to use him. So let's going to go through the best way to use Volcanicus and the best how to get what you want out of him in the best way as well. And I've got a lot of requests recently for some more rated videos. So we're going to start the rated videos again. We're going to update them for 2025. And this month with the release of Gears, although we can't really rate him yet because he's not in the game. But we're going to do Gunners. We're going to start with Gunners this week. And we're going to try and go through all the classes over the next few months and rate them all. That's the plan. We're also going to be doing the spotlight in between as well, so plenty of content. We've got about 15-20 members videos now, something like that. Don't forget, it always comes round to being available for people that are just general watchers, subscribers. But for members, those videos are there to go and watch right now. They'll be available to everyone else at a later point, because someone sort of said to me once, it's not really fair that you're putting this content behind a paywall. It's only a few dollars, guys, and you can go and watch that content whenever you like. It just supports the channel. But if you don't, I get it. It's fair enough. Make sure you subscribe. That's the most important thing. And you can just watch it whenever it gets released. It just means that if you're a member, you get to get all its sort of up-to-date information a lot quicker, a lot faster, in bite-sized chunks, rather than having to watch the full stream, or rather than having to wait. That's all it is. So that's everything for this week's stream. So let's take a look at who we got in the chat. So starting from the top, we've got Trax Penny Lancaster, who was first. A lot of obviously competition for first place as always, but it's Trax Penny Lancaster this week. We've got my brother Grind Time, who I won't mention the Chiefs. Oh, sorry, I forgot. Sorry, not sorry. So I actually hit Grind Time up, and I was like, you know what? I might actually watch this Super Bowl and see what all the fuss is about. And then looked into it, and it started at 11:30 at night. I was like, nope, no thanks, you can keep it. Not gonna bother. Seen a lot of comments, obviously, on my side of the pond, like, yeah, the best bit was a halftime show in the adverts. So, I don't know. I know it's obviously massive for you guys, and, you know, it's almost part of society, you know, watching the Super Bowl. But for us, not so much really, but I just know that obviously someone hit me up. I won't call them out, Tracks, saying, "Did you see what happened last night? Did you see the score? Did you see it?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Yeah, I wouldn't talk to Grind Time for a while." I think Grind Time was like, "My team got smashed." So honestly, I've not even seen the game back yet. I don't even know what happened. I've got a clue, but all I know is that Grind Time's not happy. So sorry, Grind Time. Then we've got Darklands, we've got Ricky Lau as well. Thanks for joining. Dread81 and E-Rods, William Wilkinson. We've got Jason Rowley. We've got Joseph Prime as well. Thanks for joining. We have Nexus, Carnage McIte. We've got Blade 19, another of our members. Thank you. We've got Stephen Gomez, another member as well. Thank you. We've got, it's jumped ahead. Who have we got else? We've got Thunder Emperor, full support. I hope you mean the channel. I don't know what you're talking about, but I hope so. And if you do, much appreciated. Hit that subscribe button, guys. We've got Supreme Rules as well. We've got London's Calling. We've got RG as well. We have Mega Master TFEW. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. We've got Joshua LeBlanc. We've got Mike Berger. Good to see you back, Mike. I've seen you for a while. But yeah, cool. Good to see everyone. Apologies if I've missed anyone out. If you have missed anyone, give me a heads up, and I will give you a shout out, obviously. Yeah, big thanks to everyone for joining the stream. Let's see what everyone's talking about. Obviously, a lot of egg ball talk. Jax is like, oh no, someone said the S word. You mean soccer? It's not called soccer though. A lot of talk about egg ball. I ain't got a clue. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of talk about, yeah. Airball. Okay, I'll take airball. You can have airball. What else? Yeah, someone mentioned March Madness, and I only heard about that last year, and I was like, what the hell is March Madness? And someone actually explained it in stream to me. I was like, okay, big thing for egg ball. Grind Transport is good. You skipped this one. Wasn't even a good game. Yeah, well, I think that's part of what. Obviously, when I just hear that, I just think, yeah, because it's egg ball. That's why. But I think they actually maybe even enjoy it, and even they said it was a bit of a boring match. I don't know. Like I said, I'm just going off what I've heard. Yeah, there's a bit of talk. Obviously, the game had some problems. I logged in at weekend Sunday, and it logged me out a few times, and then I got back in. I was like, that's a bit weird. It wasn't too big an issue, but then literally yesterday, I went to log in, couldn't log in, tried a few times, waited, went into Discord, tagged Dale, messaged Dale, going, what's going on? Nothing. And then woke up this morning, went to work, come back, and I could get in. That's all I know. But I know that it was down for a decent length of time. But that's all got me thinking, like, compensation-wise, it's ridiculous. It really is. I don't know why they don't compensate players when they have things like this. It baffles me. And they go, oh, yeah, you get loads of things in-game. Well, so do other games. Other games give you free stuff in-game. It doesn't make a difference. You still get compensated in some way. And I think it's little things like that where they don't win over the community by doing little things like that, where they should be sort of, giving us compensation for bugs. I think it's just a nice, you know what, if nothing else other than just waking up in the morning, and do this in Marvel Strike Force sometimes, that I go, oh, there was a bug, because I missed it, and I go, oh, I did resources though, thanks. Just give people a few fuel cells or something, or, I don't know, just something, decent bit of combat spark or something. Some energy on and what they missed out on, and I don't know, just some bits. But really frustrating that they don't give out any compensation. I just don't get it at all. And so they have this sort of like this sort of stigma of being really tight, and it just doesn't help towards it. It just enforces it as well. So they're sort of living up to this sort of hype that they're building, that they're so tight with stuff. It's just they let themselves down time and time again, sadly. Joshua Plank wasn't throwing haymakers straight out the gate. Should know by now. Should know me. I don't mess about. What else? Yeah, a lot of talk about the event. We'll talk obviously about that when we go through the newsletter. What else? Grant has put Dale said they're working on compensation. Okay, fair enough. If it happens, I won't hold my breath though. Trax has put they should give everyone at least 500 points towards the battle pass. Fair enough. Yeah. But in Marvel Strike Force, they give you a bit of everything to think like, what could you have been doing? What would you have been doing if you're looking at the game right now? You're probably getting Energon, you're probably getting Spark, Energon, Alloy. You might have missed out on a war attack, so I'll give you some Spark, maybe. Like I said, a few side pass points. Just bits of everything. It was just like 100 to 200 side pass points. Just some bits that you probably would have lost out on by not playing the game. Yeah, London's Corners put we had people losing war scores, getting kicked out of battles. Exactly, so they should compensate for that. Should probably compensate for a Cybertron war win, whatever those war rewards are. Well, we are. Whatever those war rewards are, added in maybe 10 battles for resource battles like Energy and Alloy, maybe like 15 million Alloy and Spark, and then like Traxxas put some battle pass points that you probably missed out on by you couldn't get them by missing out on that time. And I think that'd be all right. I think that'd be fair. I do. What else? Blade 19's put we were in a war and I could not do it. I wouldn't care, but it was Prime League. We might have lost anyway, but still not happy. Yeah, it's beside the point though. You know, it's beside the point. Obviously, everyone is going to have a different experience of what they missed out on, what they didn't. For me, I was going to do some medals, so I've missed out on medals, but they can't give medals. So energy on alloy. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered anyway. I'm pretty much maxed out constantly now, getting medals. But you know, it's that point though. You know that people would have missed out on that. Mega Masters Port, I request my team just enter Cyber, so any few tips would be appreciated. I mean, it's difficult really because, you know, we could sit here for hours talking about every aspect of the game in terms of, you know, wars and things. But my biggest advice, if you want to progress through the leagues, my biggest advice is that just be active in the wars. Keep, no matter who you're warring against, even top alliance, go and have a go. Go and give it a try. If you're finding that easier, then try and go without a combiner, then try and go without healers. Just sort of prepping you for Prime League, because if you can keep your bots alive in Cybertron without a combiner and without healers, then you can push onto Prime League. But for the time being, because it's quite new Cybertron, just go and try and get 300s. Set yourself targets of 2 300s, 3 300s. If you can't get 300s, set yourself a target of beating base 4, maybe beating base 3. Just set yourself a target. And if you can, look at your team and go, why can't I beat that? Have I not got enough healing in my team? Have I not got enough, you know, am I not strong enough to take defenses down? Am I sort of having to use 2 abilities to clear an area? Have I got an answer for the shield gen cluster? These are all sort of questions that you need to have in your team to go, I can beat Cybertron Wars, and just keep at it. You know, and just keep leveling certain bots. Pick your bots wisely. Don't level all 50 bots you've got. Spend it on events is obviously worthwhile. You know, with mayhem mode and endurance. Wait for some good content or a good event. Just spend $20, $30, $40 and just smash the event out and get some key bots leveled. And you'd be amazed how one weekend leveling some really good bots can make a massive change to your war team. And yeah, I mean, but if you're not spending, it's fine. It should be a slower process. It's still the same. You got to pick key bots. You got to level them up. But it's obviously a lot harder free to play. But yeah, that's the basics of it, basically. Dread 81's very disappointed with 5-star Predaking. Well, hopefully, I mean, I wouldn't say I was overjoyed with him, but I'm happy with the changes. So hopefully we can have a look in today's stream. I can show you how to use him, and you can make a judgment. But like I think Dale made a really good point, that not every combiner is going to be for everyone, and not all new players are going to have every 5-star combiner. I think it's unrealistic to think that newer players are going to have every 5-star combiner. I think that's sort of end game material, because combiners are difficult to get as it is. 4-star combiners are hard to get, so 5-star combiners are going to be really, really difficult to get. So you have to pick and choose kind of which ones you want. Because you've got to think, you've got to go through 17 batches and get all the bots. And I think they're going to bring something out easier to get these bots somehow. I hope they bring out like a combiner batch maybe. I mean, this is not confirmed, guys. Don't think, oh, Wozza said this is going to happen. I just know, I was speaking to Dale about this, and I said it's unrealistic to ask newer players to go and chase 5 bots out of all the batches. And he just said that he's aware of it and looking into it. That's it. I can't see them making the batches cheaper, so I don't think that's a question. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm just spitballing. I don't want people to look at it and go like, that's happening, because I said it's just an idea we had. Maybe they should put all the combiner bots into one big batch and go, you can pick out of this and have like 20 bots in one batch, and you just pull one and you get one. You know, and you might think, oh, that's a bit unfair having all of them in one, but you know what? You've still got a better chance than going chasing every bot in every batch, having just one batch just to combine the bots in. Just saying. I think that's probably the best option, to be honest with you. Carnage back alright, saying doesn't like him either. Fair enough. Trigger, welcome to the stream. Has put any new combiner coming in the future? New combiners, I don't know. We're getting a bit short on combiners now. I know there's still Monstructor for the Decepticons, I think. Which is possible, but I'm not too sure about Autobot ones. I'm sure someone a bit smarter than me in terms of combine. I'm strictly G1, so all the G1 combiners are in now. So I'm sure there's someone out there that's a lot smarter in terms of Transformers lore than me even. We'll say there's some Autobot combiners possible, and it comes out every year or two normally. But I think the big focus right now is 5-star combiners and bringing those out. I don't know of anything about combiners right now. Dread 81's but is still too weak. Damage feels the exact same. So basically, huge waste of time. Definitely not true. Definitely not true, that. And Darklands, yeah, fair point. He's got a niche. Have to plan for using him. Yeah, I agree. Dread 81's poor. I don't expect every combiner to be amazing, but I expect a new combiner with a rework and a 5-star upgrade is actually better than the 4-star before. He is. He definitely is. That much I can say. He's I wouldn't say 10 times better, but I'd say he's 3, 4, 5 times better than what he was. Yeah. So as he was as a 4-star, not being able to use him in Prime League at all, melted in a heartbeat, done. He's actually got a use in Prime League now. He's not going to be at Ruination standard. I've said that. Everyone said that from testing as well. And we need to sort of get that into our heads. That sadly, because Ruination is so far up there and was badly balanced, if I'm honest with you, to the point where, you know, the game's almost kind of ruined with him, really. Let's be honest. We're bringing HU19 out because of Ruination. Let's be honest. Ruination and Leo Prime. Without them two, I think the wars will still be difficult. Maybe Blue Streak as well. But it is what it is. We have got them in the game, but sadly that's the sort of standard we set ourselves, sadly. I will say though that Computron's looking pretty good. He was supposed to be ready for this week's stream, but Dale's been ill and he's gone to head office again, and this thing's happening behind the scenes. But he was talking about something around hacking. How do I say this without getting too much anticipation? So people go mental and then it's decided it's not the case. So Dale was trying to do something with the 5-star where it hacks a target for the entirety of the battle. So obviously you could hack something and it becomes yours for the rest of the battle. Now obviously when that target gets destroyed, it's not as much as it's not as much use to you. But I said, well, would you be able to hack the MDS? He's like, well, I could probably do that, to be fair. I could probably have it hack the MDS and hack the Age Core and Megatronus and whatever else on the base. And I was like, well, that's interesting, but it's going to be OP as hell. And he's like, yeah, that's a bit of a problem. And then he said, I've been trying to hack other things as well. And I've actually hacked the opponent's combiner. And then the combiner turns on its own. But the problem is, when you do that, the combiner doesn't lose health. It just, because the defenses can't kill it, it just stays at that health, basically, destroy the base. And that can't happen. So he's looking at a way that he can do that with Computron, where he can hack a single target and not be too OP. Because does he ignore anti-hack Billbots? These are the questions. Like, do you do that and make it so OP where you can't go back? A bit like Ruination. You don't want that. So he's trying to make it so it's possible without being OP. So it might not stay. If that's not possible, it's not going to stay. It's not. You can't have where you hack Megatronus for the entire battle and it's just there going, die, 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 die. You've seen it when it's on a cannon and you hack it and it just destroys its own base. And so everyone goes, oh no, you've got to put in the shock tower. So you got that aspect. And then hacking a combiner for the rest of the battle and having an extra combiner on the field for the rest of the battle, it's just too OP, guys. We'll wait and see. But I'm intrigued by it. But he's assured me it'll be in by next week. I was hoping to show it in today's stream. And it would have been quite big. But yeah, listen, that's not going to go in a video or anything this week. So that's just some news. This is why it's good work watching the streams, you see, because you get little snippets of information like this that's not part of the stream. I'm just giving you guys what's being discussed behind the scenes and give you an idea of what might be coming. But don't hold it onto it. What else? Mega Masters bot. I hope they give us a 5-star Volcanicus crystal and get a 5-star of one bot in the set of bots for Volk. I don't think. I doubt it. I doubt that somehow. I don't know. maybe down the line, but not anytime. I wouldn't bet on that anytime soon. They're not going to bring out a 5-star Volcanicus and then give away a free bot this soon, I don't think. Yeah, Dark Answers put my alt account as 5-star God Neptune and he rules, yeah. Next, just any ideas how HU90 is going to be? How long or how it's going to be? I think we'll get an MDS upgrade. I think we'll get a shield gen upgrade. I'll upgrade most defenses. We'll probably get another attachment for the MDS. And we'll probably get some new cores, I reckon. They are looking at getting rid of water right now, and there's talk of bringing cosmic rust in. So I don't know if that's going to be a set replacement. I presume so. But HU19 is going to be end of the year. It's going to be back end of 2025. You're talking another 9 months yet. So it's still early days. Jamie Carpenter's put, after God Neptune, no matter what we got, it was going to be disappointing. Yeah, he's kind of got a good point there. You know, I think we're always going to be disappointed, but you've got to think of what you can use this combiner for. I think Marine Agent is going to be the all singing, all dancing. It always is. But you've got to think, you know, what are these other combiners used for? And I think it will reduce the cost of me using other combiners in wars and stuff. So I think it'll help the cost of it in all 13 usage at the very least. Prime time is a mental take a shot. Sorry. And Decimus has put mental time. Trigger, any tips for Defensor? Just got him. Keep him, don't use him. Wait until Streetwise and Sinner Twin come out, because that will trigger him as a 5-star and he'll get the 5-star rework. I think, personally, he will be next after Computron, which will mean, I think that means 5-star. I mean 5-star tracks. Does it? I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm really bad with the combiner pieces for the Decepticons. I get mixed up, so I'm trying to think. So yeah. I think it does, doesn't it? Cutthroat's part of Abominus. Yeah. I'm getting something with mind wipe. Yeah. So he is. Yeah. So I do think we'll get 5-star tracks. I really do. But also, I think don't have a high expectation for that. I literally think the 5-star tracks and Cutthroat will just be 10% more damage reduction than what we've got now. That is it. There'll be no increase in anything else because it's so OP. Tracks. Computron hacks the enemy Titan. Jesus, no. But I bet it does in a bug. I bet there's a bug that makes it do that though. Blade 19's, but I wonder how God Neptune will be after water element is removed from the game. I know it's interesting because that's going to be a buff to him. But then do they change the anti-water cores to anti-damage cores, buff it to counter Ruination even more? Just saying. Supreme Rules, when he dies, all your bots get level 20 Liege. There is talk of that. No, sorry, I'm lying. No. What they're considering is having anti-hack on your bots like 20 seconds, which will help with Beachcomber. I think that's a good idea. Jason Rowley just needs Slug and Swoop for Volcanicus. Yeah, we'll all need a couple of bots. Well, not me, but I went and chased them. And now I'm chasing. I'm always one step ahead, so now I'm chasing Afterbreaker, I think, which we might even try and pull in today's stream, maybe. I'm going to stick that on there. Yeah, we'll try and do that today. I do want 5-star Computron. And then I think after that, it will be 5-star Defensor and Abominus. And so that will be the 5-star Streetwise event for me to get that. And so let's just keep hitting that event. That's dead easy. I've got all the bots for that. But I think that'll be next, I think. Yeah, when I say 5-star tracks, don't say it is incoming. I'm just guessing at that. I've had a few conversations with Dale, and I was just talking about combiners, and I just said that in terms of the bots, Streetwise is half there. He's not far away, Streetwise. I think it'd be a really good 5-star. What else? Doesn't Minnesota and Octopus Maximus only need one bot a piece? Yeah, but I think they need a bigger rework. I think Defensor's pretty much all right, but I just think he needs something strong attack-wise. But I think he'll be I think the way he is, I think he might be an outpost combiner. I think just the way he is, very defensive, isn't he? You know, defense also. Yeah. I think they'll just increase his survivability through the roof and make him really hard to kill. Something around that, I think. Yeah, down to put. Don't forget Skyrim, Galvatronus. Yeah, I mean, there's in the two in the two Galvatronus bots. They have got the new Legacy bots, which are part of that. So maybe they're going down that route even. Maybe I don't know. Just guessing. Cons will have Galvatronus for Cyclonus release. Okay, well maybe then yeah. Berserk like Twin, aka Streetwise, even though he's not great. Yeah, I like the idea of him, but just I don't know. I think he's cast range or something. Jamie Carpenter's put after all the time money put into God Neptune and Ruination, if they change him too much and make him bad, I can see a lot of people quitting over it. That's the flip side of it, you see. This is why we can't have balance changes, sadly. If we have balance changes, the game will be a lot simpler, not a lot easier, but a lot easier to program. And, you know, because sadly, once we put this into the economy and it's there, because I said this to Dale, and Dale said, I don't understand how other games can have, you know, balance changes and we can't. And I said, because the difference is that the amount of time it takes and the amount of effort and the amount of money to level these things and get is so difficult that when we invest so much time into it and it gets nerfed, then we get frustrated. But I said that Marvel Strike Force, once you've got the resources, leveling up a character takes a second. Literally just go, done. That's it. It's 2 button presses and it's done. Can you imagine having a bot where it takes 2 button presses to get to level 70 if you had the resources? Not gonna. Blade 19, is there a Beachcomber nerf coming for HU 19? That would be great. No, but I always say this. What should happen is content should be released, whether it be on attack or defense. And then what should happen is you look at something and go, right, that is OP. How can we bring out something to counter that? Then you bring out the counter, and then people chase the counter. And then you bring something out, whether it be defense or attack, and rinse and repeat. You bring out something that's overpowered, you bring out a counter. So now at the minute your bots are constantly getting hacked by Beachcomber. You bring out 5-star Computron, you give your bots anti-hack for 20-30 seconds, boom, you're chasing Computron. You want Computron for that. Leo Prime at the minute does a lot of fire damage. Do we have a counter for fire? We have the fire door cause, but it doesn't do anything. So do we bring out an outpost bot that eliminates all fire damage maybe, or something for 30 seconds on the base or something? A combiner that does that? I don't know, but you can see where I'm sort of going with that. You know, for every something in the game that's overpowered, bring out a counter for it that people want to chase, and then you leave it open. And if you don't want to chase that, fine, go and cope with Beachcomber. You know, if you don't want to chase, obviously, the defense of it, they got to cope with having Leo Prime against you. That's the way it is. Oh, excuse me. Trigger, is it just me or is it impossible to get a 3-star Afterbreak for Computron? There's always one combiner piece for everyone. It's different bot. I'm sure it's designed that way. They assure me it's not, but I think it is. It's always made that one of them is really hard to get. So I would say just wait for go and wait for a Computron Dino Gate bundle. I say Dino Gate bundle, but you know, a Computron Gate bundle. And they're the best way to go and get them. Or obviously go and buy an Afterbreaker bundle. That's the best way to get them. Berserk's put, I think some people engage in diving into batches, usually bad bots, which some do. I agree. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, and Grant just put there, I'll buy a character pack to get a specific bot. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't buy the combiner bundles. They're not very good value. I would either buy, well, when I say combiner bundles, I mean when it's like 20 crystals, like $10. Don't bother with them. The chances of getting the said bot is so low. But obviously with the Dino Gate bundles, you get so many crystals, like $10, like 400 crystals. You've got a better chance in them of getting that said bot. And if you don't, you're probably going to get enough shards to get it anyway. So definitely get the Dino Gate bundles of certain combiners. They're definitely really good value. Really good value. I used to buy them as soon as they come out. If I don't need them, I buy them because they're such good value. Or go and buy an actual Afterbreaker bundle, just him. Don't buy the 20 crystals, $10. It's just it sort of drags you in to try and buy them, but don't bother. It's poor value. Okay, cool. So I'll cut the newsletter and then let's get into some content for this week's stream. So Barry Grind Our Week Ninny Bong. This weekend's event is called the Right Spark. We're not getting the right spark though, but that's what it's called, the Right Spark. This weekend's event, nice, easy, chilled out, 10k in preparation, obviously, for the endurance event coming up. So this weekend's event, you get 40 combat chips, some shards, some XP. These are sort of the events I sort of see just to put in there, just to keep you busy over the weekend. But I'll literally probably just take the weekend off this weekend, not going to bother. It's Valentine's Day, people are doing things, I get it, I'm just working as normal. But I'll probably just take the weekend off because I don't need the alloy, I don't need the energon, I don't need the spark, I don't need the shards, and I don't need the combat chips. So there's nothing in this event really for me. But the bot XP I don't even need as well, let's be honest. 2 million XP I can get in 2 battles in an endurance. So not really going to bother us at weekend event. But if you're a newer player, then yeah, it's a pretty good event. I think for low down players, it's good, easy 10k event. It's achievable. And some decent rewards for lower down players. So I think this is an event for those, which is fair enough. We need events for everyone, don't we? So, then usual battles all apply, game updates and information. So the 5-star batch, which we are obviously going to talk about soon. And we've got 5-star bundles, so they're going to be the 5-star. It says 5-star shard, all 5-star 5,000 combat shards. So it says for 19.99 each. So I think it'd be and you can. When I say that's the problem, you see, they put or and you go, oh, I could only get one of them, and then they put and you think, oh, I'm getting both for $20, so they can't win really. But I think both will be available. It's just badly worded. So you can get a 5-star shards and you can get a 5-star combat shards as well. Volcanicus and Predaking are live. I literally have people messaging me going, when's Predaking? When's Volcanicus live? I'm like, it already is. Go and level them now in preparation. But obviously you can't skip it. I thought I could skip it, but then I realised that because you're upgrading the combiner and not leveling it as such, then the skips don't work. So it is about 2,500-3,000 coins to skip it. Don't bother, guys. Just wait. It's not good. It's not like it's game-changing content. But we'll take a look at him again, like I said. Transformers 2.0. There's a lot of talk about behind the scenes of changing the game. I'm just going to go and blow my nose. Give me 1 minute, guys. 1 second. There we go. That is better. Okay. So, there's a lot of talk behind the scenes about clearing the game up and cleaning it up and making it better. Talk to Daily is like, looking into it is like, it's a mess. Honestly, there's so many things that shouldn't do what they should, aren't doing what they should, not right. And they're starting to go through this and sort of just clean the whole game up. And this is something that they'll sort of start looking into with Chromia having knockback with the tower, and realise that there's certain bots that were immune to knockback that shouldn't, and certain bots that should that weren't. And so Alpha Trion, Blur, Goldbug, Hot Rod, Hoist, Vector Prime, they'll all be losing knockback immunity. They never should have had it. And then Blaster, Nor, Hound Vamp, and Leozak are gaining knockback immunity. Now for me, yeah, they're not working as they should, but knockback is not a big thing in the game. If the knockback was bigger, then fair enough, but it's not. And the knockback sort of like pushes your team outwards and changes pathing. I think it's an interesting concept, but then there's a bit of talk in playtest about silver bullets. I think that if you have that and it knocks your team out, it means you lose the control of your team. And is that fair to sort of have something in the game that no matter what you do, you have no control over? I'm not sure I'm a big fan of this knockback, if I'm honest with you. I suppose you could have Optimus Prime in there to re-rally him, I suppose, but I don't know. I'm just not the biggest fan. But talk about smash damage. So Warrior should have smash damage, but apparently there's some bots that have got it that shouldn't. So Optimus Primal, Snarl, Beachcomber, Rhinox, Streetwise, and T2 Megs all had smash damage, which they shouldn't, so that's been taken away. And then Dinobot and well, it says Skiller, but I presume Aerials. I think that means because there's only one in there. I think it means that Skiller doesn't have it, but Aerial does. So those will change as well. And then Dale's put a survey out which asks about the new studio move, the Cyber Pass, about legacy bots, about exclusivity items, newsletters, war, HU19 support. So yeah, go and fill it in. It always helps towards the game, so go and fill that in and give your opinion. And make sure it is your opinion. I always say this: when you are giving your opinion, give your opinion, not someone else's. Don't think what does everyone else want. Go and put in there what you want. And then Saga schedule. So we've got Volcanicus launch 10k event this week. We've got another event which I think will be nice and easy next week. And then we've got the endurance event end of the month, beginning of March. Yeah, I thought it was the 20th of March. I was like, what? No, 28th to the 3rd of March, 20th of Feb. In 2 weeks' time. Go check out your content creators as always. Myself, Soldier, Freezus Max. Soldier started streaming on a Sunday. I know he didn't do the Sunday. It was on every Sunday, but he has started streaming. So go and check that out. Obviously, Freezus does a stream every week. Go and check Freezus' stream out after mine. I'll probably be there watching it. So go and check that out. Then Community Corner, some cool drawings. Cool image of Megatron, some doodles around it as well. But yeah, very, very cool. And then the next team stream on the 27th of Feb, right before the endurance event. I'm sure there'll be more talk about the new studio and what's happening. So go and check them out live as well, guys. Oh. Yep, Tracks put us put never buy combiner bundles. Never buy combiner bundles unless it's Dinogate. Yeah. Agreed. Darklands but should be 80 combat chips this week. Yeah. Well, I think combat chips just lost the thing. Track support. Does the UK do Valentine's Day? Yeah. Cheeto, good to see you, brother. Welcome to the stream. What else have we got? When will they split the combat back? Do they have enough bots now? I think it's just catch up on things. I think they'll probably do it. Don't they do it when they get 11 in there? I think we had this discussion last time that you get 10 in there, and I think they split it at 11. I think that's not right. Supreme Rose put. That's shocking. Triggers put is 3-star Springer good. We'll put it this way: he's one of the very few 5 stars I don't have that I want. I wouldn't say he's massively OP, but if you're going to start doing backdoor attacks, and if you don't know what they are, go and check out my content. I've done some videos on them. If you're going to do backdoor attacks, then he's very good. Some would say essential. So, well, not some. Everyone would say essential. Really, very good bot. Darkness put next Saga should get combats to 10, which does a split. Does it though? Or is it 11? I'm not too sure. Does it get to 11 and split it? No, I can't remember. Yeah, Carnage Mac alright, just put trigger, don't invest too much in 3-star, they'll become obsolete for you soon enough. Yeah, got a good point. Also what Phil's put, the game already relies too heavily on poor pathing to make it more difficult. Don't want not back to answer that. It's not really. If you're cautious and careful with your combat choices, it's not as bad as you make it out. It only is when you have different range combats. That makes it difficult. Oh, Blade 19 Cheeto just put Freeze not stream tonight because he's out celebrating his birthday. Fair enough. Happy birthday, Freeze. Grandson going to see the new Captain America movie. Yeah, it's out tomorrow over here. Don't know why about on Valentine's. Random time to bring it out, I think it is. But yeah, I think we're going to watch it next week, so no spoilers. Dan has just put some idea about Power Glide. I think they've got ideas behind the scenes. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But yeah. Yeah, I'll go Rhythm. Welcome to the stream. But Uni's a girlfriend. I'm just gonna spend tomorrow playing my favourite game. Fair point. Ultra Claw 87. Welcome to the stream as well. Dread 81's put the skipping the new Captain America movie is a good idea. Yeah, but it all obviously ties in to the Marvel sort of universe. So there'll be some Easter eggs in there which are relevant to other films. So I'll definitely go and watch it. But Captain America dies. I very much doubt that. Imagine. Joseph Trilla, I could always watch Casablanca. Oh God, are you showing your age there? Cool. Right. Okay. Let's go into the game. Do some discussions. Cool. So first things first. I'm gonna change some things around on my base just to make this a bit more convincing. Let's make sure that is the healing in there. Where's healing? Where's healing? There's healing. There's healing. Healing. Nexus. That's not realistic. That is. Let's do that again. So, when we talk about Volcanicus and how good he is at what aspect of the game, he was specifically designed as a 5-star to destroy this cluster of defenses. For a lot of mid to low range players, this could be a huge problem. You have usually some high damage defenses like the MDS, and you just stack it for the protection and for the healing. So you can see there we've got Micronus, we've got Alchemist, and we've got healing on the MDS. That's coupled with the shield gen in the middle, protecting from damage as well. So this is what we call the cluster, and this is what, although you can call any cluster a cluster, like you could call these a cluster because they're close by. When we talk about the cluster, this is kind of what we sort of talk about. The shield gen coupled by some defenses and a lot of healing. So this is what Volcanicus has sort of been designed for. Now, if you're not playing at this level of the game, if you're playing at a lower level, you could probably just jump around Volcanicus, do a lot of damage because he will stay alive for a lot longer. But once you start getting to Cybertron and Prime League level, aka Zone 16, Zone 17, then this is kind of what he's used for. So this is probably not the guy for you. If you're struggling in wars, and you don't have the likes of Roadbuster, and you're struggling for an answer to that shield gen cluster, this is probably the combiner for you. So we're going to run through Volcanicus. I'm going to show you how to use him, how to get in that cluster. We're going to do some battles at lower levels, show you how you can use him in other ways as well, and sort of make a judgment on whether he's right for you. Okay, so we've got a maxed out HU 18 here. We've got the cluster behind the HU, it makes that a bit more difficult. We're going to try and see what we can do with Volcanicus. So don't forget this is a maxed out base, but with this cluster behind the HU to make it that much bit more difficult. So the first thing we need to do is we need to protect him and stop him from getting damaged, because he does take damage quite easily. He hasn't got incredible protection, so we do need to sort of protect him from taking any more damage. So what we're going to do, this Empower Megatronus for 20 seconds gives him damage reduction and gives him attack speed. So we're going to activate that straight away. Then we're going to jump right over here. Don't be... Then we're going to put the Megatronus, the Meteor down, which is going to protect him. And then we're going to jump into that to give him damage reduction as well. And you can see his bar's not going down much. And because the fire starts, it's going to hit loads of that fire in this area now. You can see there, he's took all that out. And then we're going to try and jump over here, I think. Do some more damage over there. And you can see because he's jumped out of that cluster, now he's took all that damage and died. But you can see that cluster, even though it's behind the HQ, is gone. But the key to it is just protecting him and keeping him protected. The key is using that 5-star ability off the go straight away, give him some protection so you can get him in range so he doesn't die really quickly. Then you want to put that meteor wherever the shield gen cluster is and get into it ASAP. From there, then you can maybe use a Titan boost or use other things to help him out if needs be, but he should be able to clear that quite easily, or to a decent degree. But you can see there, it does that really, really well. That's what it's been made for. Let's get, no, don't. That's awful. So what, HQ16 is that? Yeah, we want a 17. Let's go. Let's try and find a HQ17. Make it realistic for zone 15 for events, maybe. Let's try. Don't forget the zones in playtest are all over the show because there's not enough bases basically. Hopefully this is yeah. So there you go. HQ17. So this is typical sort of this is a typical sort of base you would see in zone 15 in an event. So it's going to take damage, but not as much as obviously with the maxed out bases that we have just seen. So we're going to put Megatronus. We're going to put Volcanicus down now. So you can see it does fire damage in quite a decent area. Then we'll do his 5-star ability. Do some fire damage over there. We'll do his meteor up there. We'll do some fire damage over here. We'll do his meteor up there. Get him up there as well. Damage reduction in an area. I mean, yes, we've got our Titan helping out a bit. So you can see there that he's going to do quite good in Zone 15 for events. Could I have got to the HQ faster, maybe? Could I have taken out the HQ? Yes, probably. That's not going to help you in Mayhem mode. Is he a good combiner? Is he clearing a good area? Yes. Is he Ruination? No, he's not going to beat that standard. So you can see that he's got decent range. He's got a decent jump on him. He's got decent protection. All around, he's a pretty decent combiner. If you keep him alive, focus on not the damage you're doing, but focus on keeping him alive. Using that 5-star ability, jumping into the meteor, doing damage in an area, coupling that fire maybe with acid of some kind, whether it be an ability from a bot, whether it be a Kremzik or something, just coupling that fire with acid all helps. But you can see that he's got some good uses, but his big use is definitely that cluster. That cluster normally takes maybe 10, 12, 15 ability points to take out and deal with, whereas with this bot you can deal with it with the combiner and you can use your bots to take up the rest of the base. So go and give him a try, go and try him out, see if you can use it to this effect, and I'm sure that if you sort of think more about protecting him, keeping him alive and jumping into that meteor, you'll get better results. And I think you'll find that it has got a good little niche area that you can play with him and enjoy and get some good results with as well. Just see people saying there's been a bit of lag on the stream. They've logged out and then again it's working. So apologies if that's the case. Joshua the Blanks, but can you try doing a normal attack, then deploying him after you pop the defense combiner? I don't know what you mean by that. Vic Ching's put, would Metroplex Fireball help him last longer? It wouldn't make him last longer, but it'd make him do more damage because the fire stacks. So let's just take a look at him again. So you've got the 2-star ability. Enemies already on fire take double damage from both the leap and flame wave. So you've got that one and you've got that one as well. So they'll take double damage. So whatever it's doing here, so it's doing 623 damage for 8 seconds. So you're talking about 4.5k damage. So obviously if you put in fire down already, that'll be 9k damage in an area. And same for the meteor, that it's 641 for 12 seconds, which is about 8k damage, but that'll be double on top of fire. So even a fire Crimzik, even using that in that cluster will help. And obviously the same with the Negatronus, obviously because it's fire. Because they're all fire, they all link into this. You know, taking enemies already in fire, taking double damage from these two abilities that you can sort of not spam. I won't say you can spam them like Ruination maybe, but you can use a couple of times. So it's just about using that fire. It's all about fire, all about acid and keeping him going. Attack as you would in war. Okay, it's going to be quite hard though to find a base, I think, that can do it. So it's my war team. So let's just who should I put in? Let's put Beachcomber in. Let's try and find a decent base. Algorithms put this ability is awesome, but I personally don't like its name. I think it's too technical and little to no imagination to it. Maybe something like Dino Gift or something. Okay, yeah. I don't think the name really matters, does it really? No combiner active. That's the problem you see with a test server. Is sometimes if you try and look for a certain scenario other than your own base, it can be difficult. But sometimes my base is not set up. I don't want to spend the rest of the stream sort of like changing my base around to try and make it a war base when I've been doing some testing. So this is not a war base either, because it's test 99. Again, you get a lot of these sort of bases. I can try and attack. Yeah, Trash has put I've got my base, so let's have a look. And it's charged as well, so that's good. Thank you. Yeah, cool. So we can battle his base. Thank you, Trax. So obviously we're talking Volcanicus doing fire damage, double fire damage. So we want to try and get some fire damage on the base from the get-go. We've got some we've got a fireproof dome core there. That's our antidote. It looks a bit similar to me, not from a distance. I maybe need glasses now. We've got an anti-electric core, I think, behind the oh, I've dropped a pot by accident. I'll start again. I hate that fingery stuff. Anti-hack. So we've got the one anti-fire core, which is part of the cluster. So let's try again, eh? I hate that when you fat finger things. I'm not going to put smoke screen actually. Going to put smoke screen, and I like smoke screen in my team. Rather Beachcomber. And I know a lot. You know what? I got a lot of hate for putting primer on smoke screen. Everyone's like, "What are you doing?" But honestly, I do like it. I do honestly, because it's just extra damage. I know it's only one target, and people are like, "Yeah, you better spreading it with flak." Yeah, I know, but I just I don't really have flak in my team. I like to keep him well back. Where's he going now? Let's go. There we go. Cool. Okay, cool. Let's put pipes down. Put smoke screen down. And let's put yeah, and some healers, and then we can go. We can drop that a minute. And then we can do. See, I want to take this out, but I don't want to take it out and then ruin it with Volcanicus, you see. So that's a problem I've got, really. So let's do some fire damage in that area. Do some fire damage over there as well. And then drop Volcanicus. So let's use that soon to protect him. Let's put the meteor down there. Let's get him into that cluster quickly. We can put the acid down as well. And we can go fire. Then we can jump out of it there, I think, and we'll try and take one of these out. See, we took the cluster out there, so you can see that. It's a problem now. Run out of ability points, so we're struggling a bit. Use it on the Titan actually. We just need to get some ability points in the bag now, because once Pipe dies, I'm in trouble. And then Beach comes out, and I'm dead. Yeah, I think the fact we didn't take my Kronos down doesn't help. So the big question is, do we deal with the cluster and then do we use Volcanicus elsewhere? Maybe. Do we use Volcanicus on the MDS? Because the MDS is not part of the cluster, maybe. Let's have another go. Oh, am I on base a minute? So, no. Let's go again. So let's try something a bit different. Let's try it a bit different. Let's try taking out the cluster as you would do normally. And then we can focus on the MDS and taking them out with Volcanicus, I think. So let's try that. think that's cleared the area better. Still not killed the MDS though. I think the problem was that we put it up there. We put all the thing up there, and then and now we're gonna struggle against Twin Twist now, either. So we need to I'm gonna combat. Both my warriors are running downwards, so I'm gonna lose some bots. See what to do. Let's. I hate Beachcomber. Let's get rid of that for a start. Let's get rid of him because he just crazy amount of damage to my bots. So that's what happens, you see. Beachcomber just left over. That's why I hate Beachcomber so much. It just doesn't die. Yeah, good base affair. But you get the idea. Is that obviously taking that cluster out, taking the MDS out, jump into that sort of area. And that's what you sort of try to do with Volcanicus. Is sort of do a lot of fire damage on top of fire damage. Tracks, we all have a love-hate relationship with Beachcomber. It used to be Wozza's favourite bot. No, I still like the bot. I think the game's ruined it a bit. Because I love him as a character. That's what I should say. So have a look. Yeah, the last prize, but use Volk as a sack strategy. Lead them all to the front. Use the 4-star and 5-star and 3-star. I can manage to kill them all. Expect Beach. Yeah, it's a fair point as well. How you can use that. You can literally use them on the bots as well. So fair point. How algorithm is put. Well, we're gonna rate the gunners soon, so we're gonna take a look at that. So you'll see. Transport. Well, I'm retiring. Was it just complimenting my base? No, it's a good base. I mean, without Beachcomber, I'd have smashed it, but that's always the case with most bases, to fair. And also feels for a good base, but wouldn't be without Beachcomber. Yeah, I'd have finished it off. I thought a base would get smoked, actually. Yeah, I think with Ruin, maybe it would, with Ruination, because it's one of them as well. When you're used to a certain strategy and using certain bots, then yeah. But yeah. Yeah. Cool. Right, let's get into. We said we would rate some gunners, and we're gonna do that when I find the right thing. Here we go. Let's God, what's happened here? Oh, there we go. Cool. Let's just change the size this a minute. I can go into rate a minute. Let's change this a minute. Let's cut them couches out. See what we can do. Let's do that. There we go. That's better. Cool. No free advertisements. Trax has put that base that he just saw is my base set up for Unicron League. Yeah, I think it was. Doesn't work as effectively now, I don't think. Obviously you've changed the cores, the fire cores weren't as effective, but yeah. Tell us more about couches. Sofas for you guys. Sofas. I bought a new sofa. There you go. I don't know if you call them couches over there. I don't know what we call them couches, but yeah. Couches, sofas, same thing. So yeah, as I said, so we're going to rate every gunner in the game in Transformers Earth Wars. Had a lot of requests for rating videos, so we're going to start doing some more rating videos 2025. Generally do this every year as the meta changes and as bots change over time. Now obviously some of these bots may change in the future with legacies and things like that, but as of right now we're going to judge them as they are right now, which is February 2025. So first off we have Skids. So Skids is still decent. He's still good. Also, that anti-healing with his acid is still quite good. Not the bot he was. He used to take out huge chunks of areas, but with anti-acid cores now as well, and with fire not as prevalent because we have some good fire bots now in terms of Leo Prime and Optimal Primal, whereas before that with fire damage you needed an acid bot to combo them for them to do well. Now you don't need that acid as much, so I would say A tier. He has a good G1, really good G1 core, and generally a good gunner, but not quite that sort of Prime League War sort of level. You can fit in some teams, but not quite top tier. Next we've got Prowl. Prowl, quite an older bot, does normal damage, which is a good thing. I think we'll start seeing normal damage bots come back more into the meta, with a lot of obviously elemental damage in the game right now, and anti-fire cores and anti-acid cores, as I sort of talked about Skids being countered. There's no real counters for Prowl, but because it's an older bot, it doesn't have the punch that some of the newer bots have. And so I'll put Prowl in B tier. I think what raised him a bit up from such low down is the fact that it's normal damage, but it doesn't quite have enough punch. Next up, we've got Smokescreen. No doubt one of the best gunners in the game. Really good at taking build bots out. Again, we've just spoke about elemental damage and talked about elemental counters in terms of anti-fire cores and anti-acid cores, and generally when we speak about build bots we simply say that if you want to use certain bots, just take them out, and Smokescreen without a doubt is the best bot at taking those build bot cores out. So use it at the very heights of the game, very top of the game, so Smokescreen straight into that S tier. Next up we have Sea Spray. Now Sea Spray has a counter in terms of the anti-electric cores, but we still see most people using anti-fire and anti-acid and not as much anti-electric cores. So he's kind of sort of on that cusp of S tier, A tier. So I'm actually going to put Sea Spray in A tier because there are better bots out there, and you see Sea Spray a bit less in war teams nowadays. He used to be S tier, the best gunner in the game by far, right up sort of like S tier, amazing, but has been replaced recently by another gunner, which we're going to talk about shortly. Next up we have Dust Up. Now for me, Dust Up is kind of a meme in the game. One of the worst bots in the game. I made a joke a while back, calling her Tickle Bot, because literally all she does is tickle defenses. I think at lower levels people can use her to finish defenses off, but it's all relevant obviously to what level you're warring at. Obviously some of these bots will look really good in Junkion League and in sort of Bronze League and really low down, but when we're sort of judging these bots, for me I judge at the very top level of the game where you've got the hardest defenses, you need the best bots, and for me Dust Up just doesn't hack it at all. Not hack, but doesn't cope well, and I would advise anyone don't invest in Dust Up. Absolutely awful and not gonna last the test of time. Next up we have Whirl. So when Whirl comes out, I was a bit on the fence. Does have acid damage, but does have really good range. Now, I tried using Whirl in my war team, but doesn't quite pack the punch. Not quite at Skids and Sea Spray level. Does have two abilities, but I still find Whirl a bit underwhelming, to be honest. Where Skids and Sea Spray might have a use in my war team somewhere or use in a good war attack, I just can't really find a good use for Whirl personally. Next up, we've got Cliff Jumper, so another really old bot who uses glass gas, and I've always sort of thought in the back of my mind that Cliff Jumper will have his day when we need to combo bots to take other ones out. But what tends to happen is a new HQ level comes out, and I say to people, these bots can't do what they did before. You're probably going to need Cliff Jumper to combo, but with the cost being so high, people sort of look to elsewhere, and then new bots come out and they sort of replace Cliff Jumper anyway. So Cliff Jumper's never found a place in the meta. Not as a support bot because it's so expensive and obviously doesn't do much damage because it's just glass gas. And so I'm going to put Cliff Jumper in C. I wouldn't say he's useless like Dust Up to really be awful. But I also wouldn't put him in a war team of any kind either. Next up we have Warpath. So Warpath has been used to take out lines of defenses and taking out build bots, and a little known secret is that he actually does damage against opposing titans. And so whether that's a bug, whether that's legit or not, we don't know, but he has done and has done for a long time. So people generally place him on the left side of the map, shoot right across the map, take out some defenses, take out some build bots, and do damage to the enemy titan, meaning that your titan is free to use his abilities on the base and to outlast the other titan, which is a huge advantage. And so for that reason, we're going to put Warpath in S tier. Used still in a lot of high tier teams for that reason. Maybe not as much as he was. So I think at one point he was up there. Him and Smokescreen and Sea Spray were like the best bots in the game. I still think he has a really good use. But I would say like he was out in the stratosphere before, but not quite that level. Next up we have Six Gun. So Six Gun does one of the highest damage of all the gunners. Absolutely incredible damage. But it's expensive. That's his main problem. Is I think it's about 8 ability points. For 8 ability points, yes, he can take out some key defenses. And I think that lower down players that don't have answers for certain aspects of high level wars can use Six Gun to good effect when there's some clustered defenses around. But sadly, with the likes of Sea Spray and Skids, that there are kind of better bots around. And so I am going to sort of place him with Sea Spray and Skids because he does do incredible damage and he is really good for lower down players. And sometimes when we're doing these tier lists, we sort of forget lower players are going to struggle at these top tiers. So can Six Gun do a job for a mid-tier player that's trying to do well in Prime League? Yeah, I think he can. If you can manage your points right, then I think you're going to get some good value out of Six Gun and a bot that's probably worth investing in. But he's not going to sort of last the test of time and be absolutely all amazing. He does a bit of fire damage, so obviously you got anti-fire cores, which kind of go against that. Depends what level you're warring at. But I do think Six Gun has a really good use, and I've got a soft spot for him because the amount of damage that he does. Next up, we've got Hound. Now, in terms of Hound, the only real use for Hound is resource raids. Because if you're doing skank raids and you're trying to get resources, then Hound is an absolute god. Because it does double damage against resource buildings. Outside of that, he's got very little use. And so I'm going to put him in C tier. Because I don't think he's absolutely awful. He has got amazing range. And so he has got a use. But once you get into wars and things like that, then you're going to find Hound has very little use. Next up, we've got Alpha Bravo. Now, he's very similar to Prowl in a way, but I think what knocks him down a bit from Prowl is his G1 core. His Alpha Bravo's G1 core is nowhere near the likes of Prowl's G1 core. And so I think Alpha Bravo is a bit of a poor man's Prowl personally, and just knocks down a bit of a tier. Maybe with Prowl, maybe being a bit harsh, maybe put him in there actually. It's probably better than Hound and Cliff Jumper, so not quite as good as Prowl for me, but he's sort of in that tier of they're okay bots, they're squad fillers, they'll take out a couple of defenses if need be, but that's kind of as far as they go. Next up, we have Mirage. So I think personally, when we start releasing 5-star combiners further and we get to Optimus Maximus, I think Mirage will get a rework because he's not very good. He stuns for a time, but I was speaking to Dale about Mirage quite a while back and just said my opinion was that the stun's not long enough. When you got the likes of Bumblebee that stun for an extended period of time, 7 seconds for Mirage with a higher cost than Bumblebee just isn't very good. So although he's not absolutely awful, I'd put him in this C tier of not very good. Probably needs a buff, like I said. I think we'll actually see that buff. I would like to see a longer duration on his stun. The damage is okay, but if he's not going to take the defense out, he needs to stun it for a long time. Personally, I would like to see a huge rework of Mirage, and if I had my choice, take away the stun completely and give it some sort of invisibility which matches his G1 core, which was made later to sort of bring him back into how he was in terms of lore, in terms of that invisibility and stuff. So I would like Mirage to have some sort of invisibility more and really get into the lore of him. Next up, we have Sunstreaker. So obviously my namesake. But when it comes to greatness, that's as far as we go, sadly. He's got quite a high cost, but he has got high damage. So I wouldn't say he's C tier. Again, I'd put him in this sort of B tier of he can do a decent amount of damage. He's got a half decent G1 core. But it is fire damage, which is counted quite high with anti-fire cores, things like that. So although he's an okay bot, I think if you're a new player coming through, you'll find Sunstreaker quite decent for the cost. But once you start getting into these other gunners and what their uses are, I think you'll find better bots in the long term. Next up, we have Blue Streak, and plain and simple, Blue Streak is the best gunner in the game. Absolutely incredible range, absolutely incredible damage, incredible uses in top wars, reducing damage and reducing HP, can help lower players take out structures and areas that they wouldn't be able to normally. So I think Blue Streak is one of them few bots in the game that makes the game a lot easier. I'm probably overpowered, probably too much. If I had an extra tier, Blue Streak would go into that. He does make Prime League a lot easier, one of a few bots that do. But in terms of gunners, the best bot in the game, without a doubt. I doubt you'll find many people arguing with that, really. But yeah, very good bot, and definitely one to chase. Next up, we have Jazz, and Jazz's problem that is just too old, sadly. He's one of the first gunners ever out, and back then, 9 years ago, he was probably the best gunner in the game. And for 9 ability points, you could take out a massive cluster. But now, again, like the likes of Prowl, like the likes of Sunstreaker, Cliff Jumper, Mirage, because of some of the original bots that were released, they just lack that punch that they need nowadays. And although it is normal damage, so it's not countered by anything, for 9 ability points, there's a lot of bots that do a lot more damage for less ability points than 9. And probably needs a massive cost reduction, if I'm honest. But he is what he is. He has a 5-star, he has a G1, he's got ability 11, so he's got everything that he needs to be a great bot. But sadly, just doesn't last the test of time. And so he kind of goes into this sort of B category again of an okay bot. He's not awful. Can do well in an area. But outside of that, just not very good, sadly. And then last off, we have Rotorstorm. So when Rotorstorm was released, I was impressed with what he did. It's a bit like Sentius, a bit different. But again, that's kind of where the comparisons stop. Doesn't quite do enough damage. And I've seen some content creators go, oh, look what I can do with Rotorstorm, taking out clusters of resource buildings and increasing the damage. But let's be honest, we're not here to take out resource buildings. It frustrates me when I see that people are trying to find a use for him because he is quite cool, but he just lacks any kind of punch. And so for me, he's also kind of in this B tier of that. He's got a decent use as a squad filler for me, but I'm not gonna. I think he was kind of designed as an opener with Sentius, and it is quite a long ability, but I'm just not sold on that initial spamming ability to take out huge clusters. Once you start using Laser Optimus and Sentius and Rotorstorm in an area, yeah, they can take out huge areas, but once you start adding up the points that it costs you to do that, it's just not effective. compared to using other bots that are doing similar damage for a lot less ability points. So yeah, he has his uses here and there. He's okay, but I wouldn't put him in any higher tier. I wouldn't put him in any war tier, war team anytime soon. So that is my tier list for gunners. So let me know what you think, guys. Who do you think it should change? Any bots you think should be higher? Any lower? Have I got any wrong? Is there a use some of these that I've missed? Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think, whether you agree or not. And let's see what you guys are sort of putting. So have a look. Carnage Mac but where was I put tricks? Sits good. Well, now you know. Used to be heavy meta. Yeah, that's why he is where he is. Still costly. Yeah, that's what Dart's put. But Dart's put is still uses C-Spray in his main team. Yeah. Goody Fox has put I use Warpath a lot. Yeah, very good bot, obviously. Trax has put World's a good bot for backdoor teams to replace low-level bots. Can take out some decent defenses for low cost like spider mines, but still dies before he pops things. Good for clearing mines. I know, but I think you can just pick a lot of bots for that. Yeah, so Warpath with top heavy is awesome. Yeah, I have glitch on mine, but I don't use them as much right now. Recently, I think Dallas put recently replaced Sitcom with Blue Streak. Yeah, recently, yeah, very good, yeah. Thunder Empress put Sea Spray is godly. I don't quite think so. Not for me. Trax has put Horde uses Sea Spray on all their front-loaded base attacks with Leo Prime, Warpath, and Blue Streak. Yeah, I think for me, I would rather use Leo Prime in an area than using Sea Spray. Blade 19's put Dragstrip, aka Hound. Is very good in Mayhem mode for cleaning upwards leftover. Yeah, I don't use bots like that in Mayhem mode. For me, I just use one bot. I level. I use a combiner and one bot. For me. Goody Fox spot I use 4-star Mirage, but only with his G1 core. Yeah, you've got to have his G1 core. I think it's amazing. One of the best G1 cores in the game for one of the worst bots, I think. Personally. James McDonald's put I love Mirage at lower levels. Yeah, I think he'd be decent. There's a lot of bots that are good at lower levels. Because don't forget, when we sort of developed the game initially, it was like HQ. I was talking to Trax about this other day. HQ 12, I think it was. So Mirage from the HQ 12 to 14 will probably still be relevant. That's where he was designed to cope with. But then again, if you go and take Blue Streak into Zone 14, you'll see the difference. Down to put Mirage G1 should really have a hollow make him invisible. It doesn't make him invisible. It does. Just not for a long time though. Stephen Gomez has put Dust Up his Z tier along with Sludge. No, I think that's a bit harsh on Sludge. I think Sludge has his uses, but Dust Up doesn't. I agree with Dust Up, Z tier. Algorithms put I have to find the EMP as Mirage should come invisible. It doesn't come invisible. His G1 code makes him invisible. It literally gives him the box that bzz, boop, boop, that makes him invisible. Yeah, Darklands has put too costly for Jazz. Jazz needs a boost, yeah. Too much time on his essay for the ability, yeah. Yeah, the last prize, but I think most are useful for Zone 15 or lower going for resources. Yeah, I think most are, so you can't really judge with that. Yeah, also Phil's put Sea Spray is still great for pathing against spaces without anti-electric. Yeah. Constance put you wrong about Dust Up. I can solo Zone 15 with her and my Titan. Yeah, you could do that with any bot. Let's not. Yeah, he's making a joke there, guys, that you can literally solo Zone 15 with a Titan. You're just dropping a bot. So he's making a point that you could just do it with anyone. So don't take that as gospel, guys. Who is Blue Streak's counterpart? Is Wild Rider. I can't pronounce your name, but someone from Thailand has put your streams on every early morning in Thailand. Good to know. Thanks for watching. Much appreciated. Cuddy Fox put Leo Prime and Optimus on the same team on elimination mode. The two destroy 90% of bases. Yeah, I use 2 of them as well. James McDonald's, but I still run skids with his G1 core and the Cosmic Rust Blaster. Add Leo, cleans up a base real quick. Yeah, I just think that rather than using Leo Prime and having a space for skids as well, just use Leo Prime twice. Honestly, and save a spot. Algorithm means that he should just make himself invisible and the G1 core should do something else. Yeah, maybe, yeah. Fair point. Cool. So I think people are sort of generally saying C-Spray should be higher, I think they're saying, really. In their opinion. That's just about, isn't it? That's just about opinions. So yeah. Cool. Cuddy Fox, use Leo Prime and save 7 spots. Just use Leo Prime, pretty much, yeah. Alright, cool. Let's go back to the game. Alright, let's load the game up. Opinions. Everyone's got one and they all stink. Down spot gears. Yeah, we're going to do something dead quick. Have a bit of fun. And then we're going to take a look at the 5-star batch. Then we're going to take a look at gears. Last prize spot C-Spray's high A. Yeah, I just don't use him as much myself, really. He's well out my raw team now. Okay, competition time, giveaway. Right, okay. So, I need Afterbreaker. I've got a 1 in 3 chance. So normally I would say put in the chat who we're gonna get, but then once I pull Retgar, I've got a 1 in 2 chance then, and it just gets a bit silly. So we're gonna make it dead simple. So don't put guesses in, right? Don't do that, right? What we're gonna do is I want you to guess how many 5-star pulls it's gonna take me to get Afterbreaker. Is it gonna take me 1? Is it gonna take me 2? Is it gonna take me 3? Dead simple. So make sure you put 1 guess in the chat. So put your guess put your guess in the chat right now, guys. How many pulls is it gonna take me to get Afterbreaker? I do need to get him. I've got 17,500 shards. I've got some spares, so I'm not too fussed really. So put it in the chat. 1, 2, or 3 pulls to get Afterbreaker. Anyone that gets it correct will win a Sunstreaker Wozza stash crystal. Dale's give me some more crystals to give out. So let me know. Answers, but don't you mean Afterburner? Yeah, I do mean Afterburner. Actually, while we're waiting for some guesses. But you got Afterburner there, that. Yeah. That's what it's supposed to look like. Pretty cool, eh? Oh, I've had him up there ever since Comptron was announced. That's been no, in fact, I've had him up there since 5-star Lightspeed was announced. So it's not in the computer anymore. I took him out of the computer. Sunstreaker's back in there now. But I do sort of put certain bots in my computer depending on what's happening. So I've got Mirage there. I think Mirage will go in when he gets an upgrade. I think when Victorian gets an upgrade, I'll put Menasor in there. I've got a few, not all of the bots though. I've actually got G1 Menasor actually, without all the parts. Looks a bit of a mess. But yeah, I've got Skyray there. I've got Defensor there. I've got Opmax there, Bruticus, Volcanicus. I should put Volcanicus in really with him being a 5-star now, but I did have Volcanicus in there for a long time. That was pretty cool, wasn't it, putting Volcanicus in? I think that's my job this week, putting Volcanicus in my PC and taking Sunstreaker out for the first time in a while. Cuddy Fox has put Grapple is very good, but they need to raise his HP and fix his bombs so it can be random in front of him instead of behind him. I don't know, I'm not using him since testing, so I can't comment. Also, why do you want Afterbreaker so bad? For 5-star Computron. So, to show you. So, Computron is the next 5-star coming along who's in testing. And if you look at Computron, just go past it. Yeah. So you can see there that the only bot I'm missing is Afterbreaker. I've got all the 5-star bots for 5-star Computron. And then after that, Street Wars will come in an event, so I don't need to get that. I think Skylinks will be the next one. Trailbreaker will come in an event, so I need to go and get Skylinks after that. This will be the hardest one for me. This is the one that I'm going to struggle with Optimus Maximus, I think. Going to need quite a few pulls for this. Obviously, he'll come in an event. These, I don't know, Skydive and Firefly. These are going to be a struggle for everyone. They're going to come in different events. If they're in events, it's easy. Just go and do the event. If they come in batches, it becomes a bit difficult. And so, because these will mostly be in events or batches, probably one will come in a batch, I reckon, the rest in events. He'll come in an event, needs to get. He'll come in an event, he's already available, he's to get. Or in a batch, going to struggle to get him. Or in a batch, struggle to get him. I think Mirage might be a legacy. So I've got a 1 in 3 chance to point Ironhide, and I think a 1 in 2 chance of Optimus Prime. So I'm going to need probably about 3 5-star crystals to try and get them too, sadly. So that's why we're going to struggle a bit. Yeah, it is Afterburner, but they call him Afterbreaker for licensing issues. Yeah. So make sure everyone's got their guesses in. I'll give you the last 10 seconds or so to get your guesses in for a couple of Sunstreaker Wozza Stash crystals. Probably give 2 or 3 away for those people that get it right. Okay. Let's okay, cool. No more guesses, guys. So algorithms put, oh, I get it, and that is the last comment in terms of guesses. Cool. Right, let's go then. Play one at a time. Should I go get my daughter, actually? Yeah, I think I need to, don't I? I need to see if she's awake still. If she's awake, I think she needs to pull it. Yeah. Yeah, give me a minute. Give me a minute. She's asleep. She's gonna be fuming. Maybe, but hey, she's waiting for such a long time. Are we doing a crystal pull? Oh yeah. That's a good point actually. I'll go to this as well. Binary bond. We'll come back to that in a minute. My first binary bond. Right, 5-star crystal. 5-star crystal. There we go. Right, come on. Come on, Afterbreaker. Come on, come on. Yes. Yes, get in. Get in. Oh, I'm so happy with that. 1 pull, done. So happy with that. 1 pull. That's just saved me some shards. Whew. Buzzing. Oh my god. Content creator RNG. Oh, are you having that? Are you having that? I love that. That's really made my week. Cool, there we go. We've got 5-star Computron ready to go. So let's see who guessed first, but I'm so pleased with that. So we've got Grind Time. Hit me up after the stream, brother. Darklands, Richard Tinder, ZB22. If you hit me up after the stream, I will give you your Sunstreaker Wozza stash of crystals. Bitching I'm a solar, she could do 3 pulls. I'm glad I did it now, honestly. Oh, wow. Kids are out of a job, I know. Wow. Wow. I know, I'm buzzing. Um, oh my god, like I'm shocked with that. I'm really shocked. I'm so pleased. But who's next? Like, um, oof, Iron Hydor, Slingshot. Um, I also want Optimus. That's gonna take me 2 pulls, isn't it? Do I try for Optimus now? Do I waste my shard? Do I wait for the new batch? I'm gonna wait for the new batch first, and then I might go back to Optimus and get Optimus as well. I'm actually not. I'll wait to see. I'll wait to see who's after Computron, and then make a decision. I'm gonna stick to my initial thing of what I'm gonna do is as the combiners get announced, I'm gonna go back and then chase the bots that I need. I'm not gonna jump ahead because I don't want to do Optimus Maximus, for example, and him be the last one, and then I'm chasing other bots that don't have enough shards, but I've got enough for Optimus Maximus, but he's not a 5-star combiner. So Computron for now, and we'll see who the next one is after that. If it's Skyrain, I can go and just pull Skylinks because Skylink is literally the only bot that I need in that batch. So that's just 5k shards done. I don't need to chase Skylinks. I just need to go and get Trailbreaker when he comes. I think it's going to be a legacy bot. I think might be the batch. I don't know. Yeah, I algorithm. Yes, Computron is going to be the next 5-star combiner. Yes. But yeah, but after Computron is confirmed. Computron is next. Yes, that is happening. After that, then it's a bit open really then. Joshua LeBlanc, how many 4-star shards are you sitting on? Just 360,000. You can see there. 360,000. That's all I'm sitting on, and 3 mil prem shards. We're gonna have to wait 9 months for Computron. No, we've only waited 3 months for Volcanicus. It started just before Christmas, so 2 months even. So it doesn't take long to turn its combiners around. You got to think that we turn a bot around. Granted, not to good effect sometimes. In 3 weeks, we can turn a bot around. So you know, cool. Binary bond. Binary bond. I mean, that's an easy choice. Binary bond. Enter labs. Combats. Nightstick. I mean, I've got 5.5 mil combat spark, so it's not like I have to make a choice. But the damage boost and the life drain. It's either him or CL. Do I level CL up? Zone heal and flexion. Nah. No, it's Nightstick. First ever BBE on Nightstick. Boom. Done. Imagine using a BBE on 4-star Nightstick. That's probably what I'll do next, though. That's the funny thing. When I get another one, I'll probably do 4-star Nightstick, which is crazy, really. We do it? Nah. Imagine. Imagine there's a glitch where it worked. Never mind. Full strike or top shot? Nah. Always Nightstick. Grind time. It needs to be like me and pull all the 5 stars. I probably don't have enough shards. I'm just saving them. I'm just taking it step by step. But yeah, after Breaker, we'll probably just stay low level, similar to these sort of guys. I might actually have a job for Wing Saber. I'm gonna actually level him up in the next event. Yeah. Yeah. It needs to be ability 11. But I need to do some tests on him, but I think I might have a use for him. I really do. I might do. Yeah, tracks per Lancaster, but I use the BB on a 5-star and 4-star Nightstick. I think that's what I'm going to do, yeah. Dance, but we got 5-star Ruin in April last year. Slug was picked for batch in May to 4th, another 5-star, and forgotten until October. Yeah, it was more, they were sort of creating the tech for the 5-star combiners. Now that's been done, now they're easy to turn around now. But you got to think, like I said, it took us 2 months to do Volcanicus. Now we're starting Computron. He's not in testing yet, but he's being done behind the scenes. Then it's just a case of balancing him. It's pretty much done then. But yeah. Cool. Okay, let's take a look at the 5-star batch. So, as we spoke last week, Dale said that he considers that most of the bots to be finalized now, and the only 2 bots that really are being focused on now on balancing are Taz Kid and Chromia, which I think is a bit of a shame, because I think there's a lot of room. I think Metal Hawk is decent as he is. A lot of people still use him, although he was a bit glitched. But I think there's some room for Cosmos and for Lightspeed to be improved. I really do. I don't think they're quite S tier material. And we talked earlier about batches, and someone made a good point about there being duds in batches. And I think there's just a lot of average bots in this batch, and no bots that, as a bot, people are going to really chase. There's a lot of combiner pieces for cons. I think it's a must for cons, but we also need to have good bots. Just having the combiner pieces is not enough. They need to be relevant in some way. And so Dale's trying to work behind the scenes, and he's making a particular beeline for Tasmanian Kid and Chromia. Now, although that is decent, I'm kind of a bit worried that the rest of the bots are getting left behind and forgotten about. But Dale does sort of see Lightspeed and Metal Hawk as kind of signed off, with some work maybe to do on Cosmos, but very little. But the focus is on Tasmanian Kid and Chromia, so we're going to focus on them in today's content. So looking at Tasmanian Kid and looking at the changes. So we've had a cost reduction for the Omega Swipe, I think it is. No, the Alpha Swipe, sorry, it says 3+2. I think he said it's going to be 2+1. But I think the Omega Swipe is 2+1. I think he's got mixed up maybe. But it has gone a lot cheaper. I remember one of them being quite expensive and one of them being really cheap to be able to spam. So, Performance Swipe that deals 1,800 damage, gaining 5% half the rest of the battle. Targets that have been disabled by Alpha Strike will have their disabled time reset when hit. And Dale sort of said in the chat, he's like, I just want to clear up how you use these guys. And my point has always been that you do electrical damage. Now, for me, it used to stun, but they've got rid of the stun, it seems. But then disable targets. But I don't think it's working as intended, because I've been using it and the defense is still hitting back. So I'm not sure if it's bugged. I don't think it's intentional, but it's supposed to disable them. So perform a swipe for 3 ability points that deals 911 electric damage per second and disables them for 12 seconds. So the idea is that Dale wants to try and add a timer to them. And we did talk about this. You know, we had a timer on the Chromia Tower. Because when we did it originally, we said, like, you know, you would like a timer to see when it's going to, outlast and run out. And I think it's the same for this. Because you want to really get the most out of it. So you want to leave it until 11 seconds. And then you perform a swipe and gain some health for the rest of the battle. And targets that have been disabled by Alpha Swipe will have their disabled timer reset when hit. So I think it disables them for another 12 seconds, I think that means. So it extends it for 12 seconds. I think the time reset doesn't sound right, doesn't make sense. For me, reset means start again at 0, not carry on. Extended, I think, is the right word. I think it's badly worded. If it's not badly worded, if you use this ability and this cancels it, then that makes no sense. Why would you want to do that? You won't want to cancel it. So I think the word reset is the key word there that needs clearing up. But the way I see it as working, as you use Alpha Swipe, it does damage, does like 10k damage over 12 seconds. And after 11 seconds, we're done about 10k-ish damage. You want to then hit it with the Omega Swipe, and you extend it for another 12 seconds, stunning them or disabling them. Not stunning, sorry. And gives you an extra bit of health as well, and does an extra 1,800 damage. But doesn't say for how long. So I think that the whole description needs clearing up to be more clear exactly what it's going to be doing. Especially for someone like me that doesn't use the bot, hasn't used the bot for a long time, didn't like the bot when I first tested it. So I'm literally going off my knowledge from a year ago when I tested the bot extensively at the time, but a year ago, and then what I'm reading now and what I've tested. That's all I'm literally going off. So if I'm confused by it, I think it definitely needs clearing up. But let's take him into battle and see what changes have been done to him to make him relevant. And Stephen Gomez has asked, do you invest in the cons for scanner missions? I don't even do scanner missions, if honestly. So yeah, investing in cons for scanner missions. I won't invest Spark, but I would level them in events and stuff like that. If you do, so it's the scanner missions, but me personally, I'm not a fan. There's just no resources in there that really are gonna benefit me. I think for lower players it's really important, but for me, I don't even bother with them. It's just a waste of time putting them in. For the amount of time you lose the bots, I know it's only low level bots, but I'm like, it's just a waste of time, honestly. Okay, so let's do Tasmanian Kids. So just to list some of the changes. So when we tested this, we talked about having a different range per 5-star, and it was very controversial whether you should have different ranges for different 5-stars. And we were like, yeah, but it's something a bit different. Why not? So don't think they'll like that. So we've changed that to it's going to be the same range regardless of 5-star level. So it's going to be the same range whether it's a 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, or a 5-star. The range is going to be the same. He's also reverted the range back to how it should have been. There's going to be an electric icon on electric damage soon. I think that's something around the clear up around stun and things like that. And it's going to be, I think, there's going to be a stun icon when it's stunned, and an electric damage icon, because not all electric stuns and not all stun is electric. I think they're going to clear that up, I think, behind the scenes. But let's drop Tasmanian Kid over here. So Alpha Strike. So we want to disable the targets, don't we, in an area? So let's just get close. So you can see the range is pretty decent for the time being. So let's use the Alpha Strike, disable them targets. So you can see there that sort of like it's disabled one target but not the other. But you see the timer there is it's run out. Is it finished? I don't know. I'm going to use the Omega. And that has disabled them there. So let's use Alpha now in that area there. Using Alpha. That's going to... See, it's just hit that one. It's not hit anything else behind it. So it's... Let's use Alpha over there. Let's use Omega over there and get rid of these. There we go. I mean, obviously against max base, but I think the main problem with ability is that it hits in a line forwards. Now, if you're attacking a base where all the defenses are in a line perfectly, in small chunks, then it's going to work well. But how often does that happen? You can see here that even attacking from that side on, defenses are very rarely in a line straight. They're in sort of clusters. So if it was area damage that it did, I think I'd be more convinced. I'm sat there going, yeah, it's not too bad. I think this was always sold as a sort of Cheetor alternative at range rather than close up, doing high damage in an area. And I don't think it quite reaches them heights. I think the changes Dale has made are alright, they're decent. Is he going to make it into a warbot? I'm not convinced. If it disables in an area, I'd be sold. I think that's pretty good because there's no counter disabling. So if a bot disables, there's no stun, there's no anti-stun cores, no anti-hack cores. It disables it. There's no anti-disable right now. And so there's no counter for that. So if you can disable defenses in an area, whether it's the MDS, whether it's a beam laser, whether it's a shock tower, it doesn't matter what it is. It disables it. It will do that for any defense. But am I going to start spamming this bot to take out areas? No. For me, make it AoE. I think it's a really, really good bot. I think it's probably the bot of the batch. Keep it in a line as it is now. I'm not really sold on it. So I think that's the change that needs to be made. is make it an area rather than a line. And we'll go from there, we'll see. Next up is Chromia. So, one big change to Chromia. And I want you guys to be the judge of this, on whether it's worthwhile or not. Whether it's a good change or whether it's a bad change. So, Chromia, as she's in the game right now, you drop the tower, and then the tower lasts, I think it was 20 seconds, something like that. 20 seconds, and it stuns for 20 seconds constantly. In the game right now as well, Chromia had a stun gun, and you could stun lock opponents. Now, I think the big thing was Dale wasn't impressed with stun locking bots. And I kind of get that it's frustrating when you're stun locked and you can't do anything. And so Dale's got in his head that we don't want to stun lock bots. And so what he's done is took that stun gun away from Chromia and made him like Bumblebee and the other scouts, where they do have a stun, but it doesn't stun continuously. It just stuns in between. So for me, that's a bit of a nerf, but I understand that it's something frustrating in the game. But on the flip side of that, I always say that it's a counter. We did bring out Rat Trap. So when we look at Rat Trap, if I can find him, where's the oh my god, where is it? There's the lab. Where's Rat Trap? God, have I even got Rat Trap? Sure, I had Rat Trap somewhere. I'll find him. It's 3-starred as well, is it? Rat Trap, Rat Trap, Rat Trap. Oh my god, am I going blind here? Have I not got Rat Trap at all? Oh, there we go. So, if you're struggling against the likes of Chromia and you want a combat to deal with that, then you can equip Rat Trap with hack and EMP immunity. So there always was a solution, there always was a counter. So I don't think it's a huge deal to have a kind of stun lock. You've got to also remember that warriors are immune to stun as well. And so although the tower can be pesky against gunners and against jets, she's not that bad if you've got Rat Trap. She's not that bad if you've got warriors. And you've also got to think that once you've got your gunners with glitch on, they're out of range, and they can literally just take the tower out. You can use smoke screen to take the tower out, and it's not a big deal. So for me, yeah, she was difficult when leveling and come up against when you got one bot, but in a war team, not so much. So not only have they done that, but Dale's idea was that he's took the timer away from the shock tower. So it no longer lasts 20 seconds, it just lasts until you destroy it. So I don't mind that idea, because it means you're using ability points to counter her. I don't mind that, and you can't just wait it out. But a problem being is that it's been changed that every 8 seconds it zaps an enemy for 4 seconds. So it stuns them for 4 seconds with electric damage, for 4 seconds, and then leaves them open to do whatever for 4 seconds. Now, because of that, they have increased the health of a tower to 50% of her HP, but her HP is only 27k. It's not that high, and so half of that at ability 11 is not that beneficial. So it kind of makes it easier to take the tower out. So because it doesn't really stun lock anymore, she doesn't stun lock anymore, it makes it easier to counter. Because it disables for 4 seconds and not the full amount of the tower, it makes it easier. So although the tower's lasting longer, it's actually made her easier to go up against. Now, for me, if this was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when Crumb was in every single outpost, I understand maybe looking at her and going, yeah, she's a bit of a problem. But now with all the new releases and counters for her, she's kind of come away from the meta and not become that sort of pesky bot anymore that we find in outposts like, oh my god, it's Chromia. She kind of fell right away. And so we're making a bot that's not quite the meta easier to counter, and I don't know why. I don't know why he's going down this route of making her a lot easier. I think in his mind, he's making her harder by making the tower not have a timer, but by making it only disable for 4 seconds out of 8, It's actually made it a lot easier to counter, and we'll show you that. But as part of the ability 11 as well, it also increases damage to 100% of her damage. But her damage is only 600. 80% of that is still only 500. So it's only 100 damage a second. Again, that's nearly nothing. So you got to think that knockback, it knocks enemies back when destroyed. It's not a big deal. The fact that it's got extra health and damage, it's not a big deal. The fact that it stuns or disables for 4 seconds out of 8 makes it easier. And the fact that it lasts longer rather than a timer does make it harder. So you can see it's not been made that bit more difficult than it needs to be as a 5-star release. But we'll go up against them. We'll see how it works. So let's just put Lightspeed down, which is a warrior. So obviously he won't get stunned. And then we'll put some other bots behind and we'll see how it kind of works. So you can see here that the tower goes down. And you see there now the timer has gone. You can see that they're stunned now. So the bots are stunned. But you see now, look. So now I'm free to do whatever. Let's try and hack it. Let's see if that works. No, you can't hack the tower, sadly. But you can see that right now, look, I'm free to sort of do whatever. I'm free to hit the tower if I like. And damage. Look, 1 light speed hit and the tower's gone. So the tower is a lot easier to counter. Now, again, if you're a lower player, I kind of understand it being really pesky and really annoying, and I kind of understand a need for it maybe. But if you're not a lower player, a high level person, and you're looking at this 5-star batch thinking, do I want to chase this batch? Are there bots in here that are going to help me in war? Then on defense, which is what she was kind of designed for, the answer is no. She's probably less relevant than what she was, not more relevant. But let's take her on attack and let's see how she goes on attack and see how the tower lasts now. So let's try it on offense. We want the tower to last longer. The tower sort of died very quickly in a past iteration. So the new iteration, let's see. So we put the tower down. You see there, it disables now. But you see there, the tower has still been destroyed really quickly because it only stuns for 4 out of 8. Now the tower still gets killed very quickly. Look, from long-range defenses. So the survivability of the tower has got worse. So on attack, she wasn't even part of the meta. She's got worse on attack. And for me, in terms of defense, she's got worse as well. So I don't think the changes that have been made to her are positive changes. The tower needs a huge increase in HP. Absolutely huge. And I think that it even needs to I say stun, but disable for 6 seconds out of 8. And needs a huge HP boost to even get close to being relevant for this 5-star batch. And it kind of worries me that I wasn't a big fan of Metal Hawk in the first place, and no changes have been made. I went for 5-star Lightspeed, got 5-star Lightspeed, and doesn't get nowhere near my war team, so I don't think he's good enough. You've got Cosmos and Mindwipe. When I did the review for Cosmos and Mindwipe, I actually said that this is not a war bot. This is good for maybe leveling and maybe help. He can go against Beachcomb, but can be really fiddly to sort of really home in on him with sharks around and combat. So you can misjudge it and waste ability points. So I don't think he's quite there. His targeting needs to be better. And then we're stuck with Tasmanian Kid, who have just said needs some changes to be better. And we've got Chromia, who's kind of gone backwards. So the batch for me is kind of a dud batch. For me at the moment anyway, the batch is, if you're a con and want combiner pieces, it's a must-have batch. But it's a must-have batch to get these bots and keep at level 1. Where you're an Autobot in this game, and I'd say 80% of the players are Autobots, it's a batch that you could probably skip. Apart from Lightspeed, maybe for Computron. but it's not a must-have batch. And if we're judging the bots without combiner pieces just on merit of how useful they are in the game, it's definitely a batch to skip as it is right now. There is time, there's no sort of time frame where we're like, this has to be out by this time, which is a good thing, which means we've still got time to make changes. But I'm just a bit worried that some people in playtest are happy with these changes already. And for me, I just think that we're not pushing content as far as we need to and sort of accepting mediocre content when there's a lot better batches and a lot better content already out there. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Are you happy with the batch as it is right now? Can you see value in it? Are you a con? You're just happy that they're combiner pieces? Or do you want something better out of these bots? Let me know in the comments. Let's see what you guys put. What do you guys think? Darlan's put, if Chromia is the first of my 2 pulls, Taz Kid will not be pulled. Fair. Volcanicus put, Tasmanian Kid is very useless. Cliff Jumper's more use. Yeah, he's a bit better now, but not much. Volcanicus still waiting for the refund for pulling Tasmanian Kid. You won't get it though, sadly. There are rubbish bots. Yeah, Berserk's put, it should say extend. Yeah, I think that's a better word as well. Yeah. Cuddy Fox put, Taz lasts longer than I thought he was going to do. Yeah, but again, he's not amazing. He's gone from awful to pretty crap. Berserk's put, it might not be great for Chromia as a powerful bot, but it's good for the game and approach to counterplay. I disagree. I think we just need counters for anti-stun. I think we just need bots that... Well, you've got Rat Trap. And again, you could go, well, I don't use Rat Trap. Well, then don't use Rat Trap then. You know, fair enough. Berserk's put, yeah, and all warriors are a counter. It's not really the point. If a bot gets isolated with Chromia, you just can't play the game. Yeah, so I understand with the stun lock. I understand that part. The ability, though, I don't agree with. I agree taking the stun lock away, not changing the ability. I think it's gone for the worse. Volcanicus support ability was really annoying. That seems to have gone away. Yeah, but was it the ability or was it a stun gun? Trax support playtesters living HQ14. That was a concern for me. I had a conversation with Trax that someone was, and I've seen this before, that someone was testing maxed out bots in like zone 15 and saying like, oh, like, you know, this bot does well in this zone. I'm like, yeah, but it does stuff will go half decent in zone 15. You know, one of the best bots in the game. You know, most bots will in zone 15. If you're testing maxed out bots, you need to test them at the highest levels of the game. You know, anyone can take a max bot, take it in zone 14 and go, this is too OP. Yeah, but you're testing maxed out content. You've got to be realistic with it. Blade 19's but I'm set to go and I'm actually mad because I know I have to pull out that batch. Yeah, I suppose like that side, yeah, you got to pull bad bots just to get combiner pieces. So yeah, probably worse for cons in that sense. Joshua LeBlanc's but definitely skipping this batch unless Computron turned out to be amazing. It's sounding amazing, sounding it. Algorithm, when will they add Sentinel Prime for the? I presume you mean for the new film. I don't think they will. I don't think they have the rights to it. I was asking Dale about that. Berserk's put, yeah, we're relying on stun lock, fire mechanism versus ability. Yeah. I test half leveled in low zone just to see what immediate players might think. They ramp up to higher level. I test half leveled in low zones just to see what. Yeah. So what I used to do when I was a tester was I would get the 4-star and I would level that to level, say, 61, level 10, which is I think is realistic for lower players, and I would go and take that into zone 15, and test that, and then I would take the 5-star maxed out how I would use it in a war team and go and test that in against my own base, not even in zone 16, because don't forget there's not Prime League effects in there. It's not quite what Prime League is. I would go and test it against my own base and just completely maxed and normally set up in a war sort of a war base sort of layout. So yeah, that's the way to test for me. You know, you test at different levels. Yeah. Tracks for what people don't realise is my oil is HQ16 and I can't upgrade my box to level 61 and can't get SA11 yet. There you go. So there you go. That's a prime example. Yeah. So HQ16 is, you know, level 60, 10 pretty much. But that's the way I sort of, you know, I think that's realistic for a player to get to. I think level 60 is quite easy to get to nowadays. But I think once you get past 60, getting to 70 is really difficult for lower players, especially free to play. So they're the people you got to maybe consider when you're doing that. And it's, listen, so before I get into gears, quick thing, so quick sort of scale back. Don't forget I was a tester back in the early days when they first introduced testers. They introduced testers when they brought raids into the game and wanted people to test raids. Then once they tested the raids, the people that really helped with the testing, they invited back to stay and play test, not just to test the raids, because they needed a lot of people to test the raids because they needed to know how hard it was and what difficult. So they needed whole alliances. So in that test, there was about 150 testers doing raids, and they whittled it down to like 20 of us. And what was happening was we were testing top end content, but we were saying that the problem is though, when we're testing content for Cybertron League, because I think Prime League had just come out, I think we weren't sure where these bots sat because we're used to testing the bots in Prime League, and we said we could do with some Cybertron League players being in playtest to test these things, and that we brought in Cybertron League players. But then the problem was then we had Cybertron League players testing top end content and saying that it was too OP or in some respect, and we're like, well, no, it's not in Prime League, it's not OP, and it kind of caused a bit of a sort of clash. And then SpaceX made the decision to separate the testers, whereas the lower testers would only get the 4-star bot, and the higher testers would get the 5-star bot. And that caused, again, loads of eruptions, like I should be able to get the 5-star and test that's not really fair. And then within like about 2 months of doing that, SpaceX sort of folded and just gave it to everyone to test again. But I just think that SpaceX need to set the bar and go, listen, this is, I like the fact that when Sam was testing, he said, this is the bar. This is what we're expecting this bot to do. I did like that. But for me, endurance bots need to be war team material. End of. 5-star batches need to be war team material. People are spending 5-star shards on it. Even legacy bots need to be war team material. You cannot be investing in a 5-star and putting all that time, effort, and money into a bot for it not to be relevant at the highest level of the game. It's a big bugbear for me, huge bugbear, and I hate it when I see people say we don't see this as a war bot. What do you see it as then? A failure? Because that's honestly the word I would use when people use the word not a war bot. I really would. Right, off my soapbox now. Cool. Right, okay, let's get on to gears. There we go. So, still no artwork yet for Gears, but he's in testing and we're trying to iron out the ability for the time being. So, not many changes to Gears, but we have given ability 11 now, which sort of extends the area of the glass gas. Testing last week, the ability of 10 and increased to 11. But we've now got the G1 core. So, we've got the complete bot of maxed out ability 11 with the G1, and the G1 core increases special ability damage by 15.5%, which gives him a bit of a boost compared to the volatile mixture. Oh no, it's the same as the volatile mixture. Sorry, I thought it was more. No, which is the same as the volatile mixture. And sets the target on fire, dealing approximately 75% of the bot's damage. So yes, it does more than a volatile mixture, as in totally, but it does the same initial damage, then does fire damage. Now, we talk about there being anti-fire cores, so it will negate the fire damage. So I kind of don't like the fire element included in the G1, but it is something a bit extra. But again, what sort of hit me with this was, it sounds a bit familiar. Let's take him to testing. So we've got gears here. So I was testing in an area. So when we put the glass gas in a small area, and I say small area because it is quite a small area, it does really good. So let's just look at some stats for a moment. So it says transform for 10 seconds and launch missiles that deal 2,752 every second in an area. So we put him down. Then get a bit closer. Then try and get closer. Is you a dive before we do? So we're going to put his ability down there. I'm going to zoom in. So you can see there, glass gas in a huge area. You see there, 2,037 damage. But you see there that he's actually doing a bit less damage to other targets. Let's have a look at that again. So I've set up a bit of a testing environment. I like to do this, sort of push it to see if it's doing the right numbers, if it's doing the right thing, and what I expect it to be doing. So by reading that ability, it says 2,752 damage every second for 10 seconds. For me, that's 27,500 damage. But it also does 75% of the bot's DPS. So we could probably add about 700 damage. So I would say comfortably it will do 28,000 damage to these defenses in an area. So we've got a shock tower here that's got 13,200 and 13,200. There's no micronus or anything in the area. So we're looking at about 26.5k damage. So with the ability and with the fire damage added on top of the glass gas, it should absolutely smash these two defenses, because you've got 27k damage plus an extra about 1,700 smart. So you got 28k damage and an extra 40% from glass gas. You're talking like 35k damage. Now when you say 35k damage, that's really impressive. It's a lot of damage. So we've got 26k, 26.5k, so it should absolutely annihilate these. So when we put the damage in an area, you see the glass gas doesn't quite reach this other one, but it should still take it out. It's still the 27k damage, but you can see there that all of a sudden he's doing less damage on this side than he did on that side. So why is that? Why is it he's doing more damage to this one target than the other? Now you could say, oh, it's because of the glass gas, but we've just said he should be doing 27.5k without the glass gas. So again, just to clear up, 27.5k, 20. So just to clear up, 27.5k damage over 10 seconds, then make it 28k, including his G1 and the glass gas on top. So let's just put him down again. We're gonna try again. So we're going to put gears down. So this time I'm going to use ability. I want you to watch the numbers carefully. So you see the 1939, 1939, 4,000, 195,000, 6,000. All of a sudden here, 1327, 42, 1328. The numbers are lower on this side. And the reason for that is, what Space Ape have done is, when they've calculated his damage of 27k, this is 27.5k damage when under the glass gas. So The problem is that when it's hitting the targets that is already hit with glass gas, then with the glass gas, it's doing 27.5k damage per second. When the glass gas doesn't hit a target, it's doing 40% less. It's doing like 1,800 damage. So how this should read is, his missiles deal 1,800 damage every second, because then it's added onto the glass gas. I'm not sure why they calculated that it does 2,700 damage when on top of glass gas. The glass gas is extra. It shouldn't be included in the description for how much damage he's doing, because if he's not hitting the glass gas, he's not doing 2,700 damage. So I think that that's really misleading, because if you have two defenses that have 27k health and you think, yeah, he can take that out, no, they are really close together, yes, but after that, he's not doing that amount of damage. For me, it's kind of false advertising. It's kind of a clever way to make it look better than what it actually is. So that's my first problem with the bot. My second problem then is that we've got, just pay attention to the screen as such right now. Because it looks all too similar. We've got the same logo. Now, that could change after testing, but it kind of does the same thing. It fires missiles. So you fire missiles. Okay, this is doing 10k damage, but don't forget, that's 10k damage in an area to multiple defenses. So if you put Prowl's damage in the middle of two defenses, it will do 10k damage to two targets. So it will do 20k. So, all right, this one is 6 plus 2. Gears is 5 plus 2. It's one cheaper. But Gears is actually doing the same damage pretty much as Prowl. Then you look at the G1. 15.5%, set things on fire, 75% of his damage. You look at Prowl. 15.5%, set it on fire, 75% of the damage. So they've basically took Prowl and gone, let's just give him damage over time. Let's kind of make him a bit worse, but lower his cost. So again, on this channel, I always talk about new content being better than old content. Well, in this case, they've took old content and copied it and made it the same. And for me, I love it when new G1 bots come out. I love G1. I always say that my lore knowledge outside of G1 is not the best, but I love G1. All my Transformers that I've got are G1. I've watched every single series of G1, every single episode, constantly over and over and over, to the point where I could probably recite every single episode. I love G1 cartoon Transformers. So when I get a G1 bot, and I'm going to say this word, and I'm picking my words carefully, we lazily just copy an old bot. I started to think back to why, when Fabian left, I was in a way glad a bit. And when he came back, I was also glad. And I thought, I'm glad Fabian's back. He's got a good knowledge of the game. He was always kind of bug free, his content. But then I thought to myself, why was I quite happy though when Fabian left and we got new testers in? And this was the reason that he kind of ran out of ideas for the game. And when you create so many bots like he has, I kind of get it a bit. But we're going back into that thing again of just overdoing old content with a slight tweak. Is it laziness? No, maybe not. Is it lack of insight? Maybe. Lack of imagination? I don't know. But for me, it's just poor content. It's just very, very similar to what we've already got. Now, if this was similar as well to, say, Blue Streak in a way, I'd be like, okay, but now we've got two overpowered bots, but at least it's content worth chasing. At least it's good content. I don't mind it too much. But we're comparing a brand new bot to a bot that came out 10 years ago nearly. 10 years old content. This content was designed around HQ 16. Alright, yeah, he got ability 11 to increase the damage in an area more, and he got a G1 to make him a bit more relevant. But it didn't bring him out the meta and all of a sudden bring him from an okay bot to unbelievable. He was still an average bot back then. He was an average bot in HQ 16. He fell away from the meta in HQ 17, and HQ 18 is not used at all, as in zero. You will not see Prowl being used in Prime League Wars. So why, after us talking about new content being used at the top level of the game, new endurance bots being war worthy, why are we now developing a bot that is very similar to a bot that is not war worthy, that is not viable at the highest levels of the game? I think that looking at gears, I think the initial damage needs to be 27.5k plus gas. I hope that is a bug and it's been missed, because as it is right now, it's quite poor. If it's just 27k on top of gas, I'm not too bothered. There's still time to change his G1. So if we have a bug in him and his G1 is open to be changed, I might be sat here next week going, you know what, guys, I take it back. They pulled it out of the bag. They've had to think about it. And he's actually a bit better than Prowl, and he can do some decent damage in an area. But I don't think so. I really think they've run out of time already. We got it nice and early, but I think they've kind of set their standout on this is what I want. And the frustrating thing is in playtest, all I see is, I like this bot. This bot is good. And I'm sat there thinking, but have you ran the numbers? Have you looked? He's not doing the numbers that he really should. And he's Prowl. I don't understand how anyone can sit there, use this bot and go, I like this bot, when he's Prowl 2.0. And that is basically what I am going to call him unless he gets some changes. It is Prowl 2.0. It isn't Gears. It's just Prowl 2.0. They might as well have just give Prowl a bit of a buff. So that's my take on Gears, sadly. And it really sort of like, frustrates me that he's just an upgrade to an old bot. I'm hoping they can make some changes, but I doubt Fabian will ever watch this. I don't think he watches my streams, so I really do doubt it. I don't even think Dale is watching my streams at the minute, half the time, because he's just too busy doing stuff, and that's not a dig at Dale at all. I just think he's too busy to do some stuff. And so I'm very reluctant to sort of say that I have faith that they'll turn this around and change it, and this will be the content that we're going for during Endurance. Now, it's my birthday, end of this month, around Endurance weekend. I didn't go for Beachcomber last time because I said it's only defense orientated, and then some changes made last minute, and that's around the time that I got kicked out of playtest making certain comments. And I was kind of wrong a bit on Beechcraft. I was kind of wrong a bit on Beachcomber. But this time around, the way it is, I'm not going to bother going for this bot. I'll probably do the event to get the 5-star shards, but not go for the bot, which is such a shame, because it's my birthday weekend. I've got time to spare. I like the Mayhem events. I like Endurance events. I like going for these new bots. But sadly, I just don't see value in the content. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Let me know in the chat. Have I got it wrong? Is there something I'm missing about this bot that you think would be really viable? Do you see a use for this bot that can be really good? Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Let's have a look what people are saying. Yeah, Sunstreaker's put the G1 Gears is literally Prowl. Yeah, he called it, to be fair. Darton's put range seems small for a gunner. Well, I think it's about average, I think. I'll tell you what, let's do a little comparison now. Let's take him side by side with Prowl. Let's see what his range is like compared to Prowl. I actually think it's shorter than Prowl, actually. You're right. I think so. I think I did some testing versus Prowl. I should have done that during the thing, really, but yeah. Blade 19's but it's a bad trigger happy. No way close to trigger happy. Not even close. So let's do Prowl. So you see Prowl is slightly behind in there. Yeah, Prowl's range is bigger. I think that Gears has better range though, I think, as a gunner. Yeah, you see Gears' range is a bit it's a bit longer in terms of his shooting range, DPS range. But you see ability range, Prowl is definitely bigger. Steven Ash just put, could just give this to Cliff Jumper. I believe Cliff Jumper has more range than Gears. We can have a look at that as well. God King has put, that's stupid. Hey, see what you really mean. I'm not gonna disagree with you though, for sure. Cliff Jumper. Oops. Let's put him in. Let's see what Cliff Jumper's range as well is. Grandad's put higher Wozza to run testing. Not. They couldn't afford me. They could not afford me, literally. So yeah, his glass gas is longer as well because you can see there he's actually behind Gears, but yeah, he's got a slightly bigger range than Gears as well. I just don't understand testers that say this is good. I really don't understand that. Volcanicus support. Do they even look at that SA suggest channel? They're always asking us for ideas and then ignoring us. I think some of the things they can't do, to be fair to them, to defend them. But yeah, maybe not. Data support suggest channel is ignored as well. I stopped reading it as it's depressing to see great ideas ignored. Yeah, I do agree. Darklines, I think it's okay to compare to old bots. The old bots portray fundamental ideas and game mechanics so long as it's a good twist. I think Quake is getting there. I completely disagree. To be honest with you. Code King has put, make his G1 give his basic attack gas or something because the small amount of fire damage doesn't really contribute to anything. Yeah, and down to put 5+2 is still much for Prime League, even the cost. Yeah, we're getting good value out of it. It's not. You know, we're not sat here saying that Leo Prime is too expensive, are we? 5+3. No, we're not. Creed asks, is Knowles Current a good defense bot with his flexion? I've got him in an outpost to test him out and see, but I'm not sold on him because he's too slow. He doesn't get close enough to the bot, so it doesn't reflect fast enough, I think. Joshua LeBlanc has put, maybe he's designed to take out one building. Yeah, but then you have to ask, why are we spending 5+2 for one building when you can use the likes of Optimus, say they can take out 4 buildings for 7, or you can use Leo Prime, they can take out 5 or 6 for 5, or using 2 sea sprays, so for 4+7 for 11, you can take out about 6 defenses for 11 points. Sunstreaker put, Gears moves way too fast. It was changed so they said that when he uses ability, he gets stuck behind, so they've actually made him a bit faster. Whether you agree with that or not, that's something from the testers they wanted him to do. They wanted him to go faster. Darklands put, browser larger. I think they wanted him to go faster because when you use his ability, you want him to get back into range again and path better. But the flip side of that is that because he's faster and the tanks are slower, he goes running ahead a bit faster because so his survivability becomes more of a problem. But then he can heal during his ability, unlike some other spam bots. So there's pros and cons to it, really. Yeah, Dart and support, but Leo Prime's 5+3. There's a whole selection of base. Yeah. Joshua Plans, but oh yeah, it's Garbo. Yeah, I'm not denying that. Just curious if he at least has a mediocre purpose. I don't know, honestly. I'm at a loss. I'm at a complete loss. How I don't get how the apes can sort of test this, but go. So my understanding, I would love to be a fly on the wall on what happens with these bots. My understanding of how it should work is Fabian should go to Yanis and go, Yanis, this is an idea of what I've got for a bot. The idea behind this bot is going to be useful in this way. This is a scenario is going to be useful in because this is a problem in top wars. This is what we're finding people doing. This will counter that. Okay, go and do that. That's how I imagine the conversation being. What I think happens is Fabian goes, okay, what have we already got in the game? This bot. How would making that bot be a bit better? Add this. How can we make it different though? We'll change that. Okay, let's do that. So I think he's looked at Prowl and gone, okay, Prowl's not very good anymore. How could we make Prowl better? Let's give it gas. Yeah, that'll make it better. But let's not make it too like Prowl. So rather than just doing rockets and damage, let's make it a bit like Rotor Storm, where it does damage over time. Okay, we'll go with that. Not is it relevant? Not is it working? Nothing like that. Is it gonna counter something already in the game? None of that at all. None of it. What he's actually just done is just come up with an idea, rather than looking for a purpose for the idea. You know, when you create a bot, you should be looking at, okay, why am I bringing this bot out? What am I trying to counter? What am I trying to solve? What am I trying to give you an advantage in doing? What is a problem in the game? Okay, let's bring a bot out that's desirable. You know, if build bots are a massive problem, go and create a bot that's going to take out build bots. If the cluster's still a problem, like with the Volcanicus, bring out something that's going to deal with the cluster. If healing is a problem, go and bring out something that deals with healing. Look at the game and think, this is a problem. Beachcomber is a problem. Leo Prime is a problem. The cluster is a problem. All these things make the game a lot more difficult. So create a demand for the bot, and then create a counter. For me, it's that simple. Create something overpowered, and then everyone goes, oh my god, this is too hard. And you go, okay, here's a solution. Go and buy it. Go and spend on it. And everyone spends that. Then you bring something else out, and everyone goes, oh my god, this is such a problem. This makes the game easier. Okay, here is a new core. Go and buy that. Go and chase that. Okay, I'll go and chase that. I've got that. Here is a new bot. Oh my god, this bot is a problem on defense. Alright, here's a bot that cancels that. Go and chase it. And literally just round and round in circles. But you space the content out over 4 months. So it becomes a problem. People get a bit frustrated, which I kind of get is going to happen though. Because you want people to find ways to counter, but it'd be really difficult. Then you go, here is a solution, guys. After 4 months. And those that want to spend and get it at the top levels of the game, that want to do well, will go and chase that content. The people that don't will sadly be left behind a bit or struggle a bit. And that's kind of where you want it to go at the top level of the game. You want people to be left behind that don't chase new content. It keeps people chasing that new content and wanting the new content. How many times do we release new content? And I'm sat here going, don't bother. And we see that. And you got to think that we only get about, what is it? 6 endurance bots per year. We only get 6. And the way I sort of see it as a new player should be able to come in, spend the next year chasing all them endurance bots, spend money leveling them, and have a war team. We should bring out a warrior, we should bring out a healer, we should bring out an air class, bring out a gunner. We've only got 8. And when you look at it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 classes. You could bring one of each class out pretty much. But you don't have to, but you can also do a special bot that's ranged, a special bot that's melee. So we've got a huge range. We can bring a scout out. You could literally bring out one of every class pretty much every year, and have a war team from that, and make them quite powerful in some way and counter something on the base. You could even do 6 bots on a couple of defense bots. That's the way I see it, and I don't understand why we bring out mediocre content, mediocre bots. Don't get it. Cod King has put, Gears looked interesting. I was interested in using him with Rotor for a solid combo. What if Gears had his ability change to apply gas with each rocket on top of dealing damage? Yeah, it may probably be better than putting gas in an area, I think. But I still think it'd be quite expensive. I talked about the spam of Rotor Storm and Sentius and Laser Octus being really expensive. You know, when you add them up, I've tried using them, honestly, and it's just too expensive. Just run out of points, because you'll clear maybe, let's just say you clear 10 defenses, which you probably might just about. So you get 10 ability points back. But when you're using Sentius at 5 and you're using Laser Optimus, let's just Laser Optimus at 5, that's 15, and then you're using Rotor Storm at 4, so you're using 19 ability points and getting 10 back, and then you're using 8, 7, that's 15, plus 7, that's 22. and getting 10 back. So you can see you're only getting half the points back that you use, where you can literally use Leo Prime in that area for 5 ability points and get 10 back. You get more than what you're using. You could easily get 5 back. Easily. You could use Optimus for 7 ability points and get probably 7 or 5 back. So you understand you're using 7 and getting 5 or 6 back. So the cost of it is reduced because you're getting points back. On the second use, you're probably using 9 and still getting 5 or 6 back. So you're still getting more than half of what you're using back. And even on Leo Prime second use at 8, you're probably getting, like I said, 6 to 8 back. So you're getting more points back per use. And you're only using 1 bot rather than 3. So the cost of these spam bots is too high really to use. Alexander's put, looking to chase a better war team. I got lucky yesterday and got Leo. What should I do next? A warrior, Russian warrior. Definitely go and get Slug. I'm pretty sure that's the batch with is that the batch with Leo Prime as well? Leo Prime, is that same as Slug? I can't. Let's look at this in a minute. Yeah, I'd probably chase. I'd keep it this batch. Keep going. Get then get Wild Rider, get Deluge, and maybe get Drillhorn, or obviously get Nose Cone. Now Nose Cone's I don't think quite as good as Slug and as Pipes, but this is not a very good batch. If I'm honest with you. And the Pipes batch, yeah, it's not a very good batch either. So you're looking at this batch here, which is Headstrong or Pipes. That's not the best batch ever anymore anyway. So keep going the same batch and you'll get a decent water out of that, honestly. Darkland support rockets with anti-healing and the G1 that applies glass gas, maybe, yeah. Oh yeah, Darkland support is 6 bots a year. So it's not even 8, it's 6 bots a year. So yeah. Joshua the Blind Spot, as a game development student, I think you're right on the money. Forget spending the money to get him. There are over 100 bots to choose from. If you're not better than the other options, I'm just not even going to use him. Yeah. That's with Brainstorm parts. Yeah, Brainstorm's alright. Yeah. Queen T's put Twin Twist Amalgamus is literally the only counter to beat Cup. No, well, you can hack him. You can still hack him because he's special bot. He's not a warrior, so he can be hacked. Queen T's put another way to counter Beachcomber is to apply Rodimus ability on Smokescreen and just spam Smokescreen's ability. Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. I'll give you that one. That's a really good idea. I've not thought about that. When you said Rodimus, I thought, what, speed him up? Like, give him increased damage? But he means Hot Rod. So using Hot Rod on Smokescreen and it's going ping, ping, ping with Smokescreen. Can get quite expensive, though. You know, countering him. Again, you've got to take 2 bots just to do one thing. And you're talking 6 plus maybe 3 uses, 4 uses of Smokescreen. So 3, 6, 9, 15 ability points just to counter Beachcomber. It's unrealistic, isn't it, really? Yeah, but imagine if they gave Gears anti-hack, damage, and invulnerability. So imagine what we just talked about Hot Rod and Smokescreen in a way, but to give him damage in an area and give him invincibility for that time, that's a good counter for Beachcomber. I'd pretty much sold on that. I'd be chasing that. I'd be chasing it. But yeah. Well, that is it for today's stream, guys. Much appreciated for everyone tuning in. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you leave. Remember, if you're a member, there's plenty of videos in storage for you to view. It'll be available for everyone else at a later date. But you can go and see all the back catalogue. I stream every Thursday. Make sure you join me next week. If not, you can watch the stream on catch up. But I appreciate everyone for tuning in. Much appreciated, guys. See you next week. Happy Valentine's. Thanks for watching, guys. And peace out.